What's up, everybody? This is Podcast Gameoverse, episode 117 for Saturday, December 10, 2022. I'm Wasabi Ice Cream. And Rick's here. What's up? You know Rick. Everyone knows Rick.
What's up, everybody? Everybody knows Rick. What's up, everybody? I'm here, just like I am every week. I'm excited. Not too much happened. We had a Disney Expo the other day, so some games got announced. We're gonna hop into that in just a minute. But we are also joined by a good friend of the channel, Klay. Tell the people about yourself, Klay.
Hey everybody, I'm Klay. I run a fellow game podcasting site called nerdjunkies.com. Shout outs to them. And I also am just here for Rick. That's it.
That's great. Everyone knows Rick. Everyone loves Rick.
Yeah.
So
I was told Rick was here, so I'm like, hey guys, what's up? Hey.
Yeah.
I can't blame you, man. I got that personality. I want to hang out with me too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My biggest regret is that I can't hang out with him. But jokes aside, we have a little bit to go over, not too much to go over. But let's start where we always start, man. I want to hear Wasabi first because you were playing Immortality, so I want to see how that went.
I was playing Immortality. You're correct.
It was.
And I put like 8 hours into that game, and the credits rolled, and I was like, oh, the credits are rolling?
That's not a good sign.
Yeah, after not understanding at all what was going on in the game, the credits rolled, and I was like, did I finish this game? Am I supposed to walk away with this satisfied? Because I'm not. That was the experience I had with Immortality. I don't want to like talk about specifics, but what I will say is a game. I struggle to call it a game too, because there's not much. All you do is just watch videos and rewind and fast forward, and then you zoom in on like a screenshot of a certain section of a frame of video, and you zoom in on that. And here's a frustrating thing. Okay, I'm gonna talk shit about this game because I talked very positively about it last week. Now here's the negative part. Okay, very frustrating experience playing this game. By the end, where you've seen a lot of the stuff now you're trying to wrap things up and getting the last bits of information that you need. There's achievement trackers, of course. You know, you look at your like achievement list and it says, hey, you're 60% complete with there's 3 movies in the game, and so it will say, hey, you're 60% complete getting all the content from Ambrosia, or you're 70% complete, you're getting all the content from Minsky. So I'm like, okay, it at least tells me in the achievement how much of this shit I have. But finding out how to get the rest of the shit is so fucking frustrating because you have no control over how you get the content, other than the way the mechanics work is you watch a video, you pause it on a frame that you think something interesting is happening. Say there's a bird on the screen. You can pause it, zoom in on the bird, and it'll be like, oh, this is a bird. Let's use some AI to find something that's bird-like, or that is a bird or something. Uses AI to find another video to jump to. Almost randomly, it seems like, randomly jumps to another video that's something might look like a bird or is a bird, or someone might say bird or is white like a bird. Because it's a dove, so it's like dove, oh, this is white, and here's something else that's white, and it's super frustrating because it keeps throwing me the same videos over and over, and I have no idea. It just doesn't make sense, is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't make sense how it's feeding you the content, right? So that was one problem, is I have no idea how the fucking system works. But then...
I asked a question.
Okay, go on.
So I played Her Story on the PC a few years ago, which is like one of their other games.
Yeah.
And then I saw that Telling Lies was on Game Pass, and I was like, oh, hey, that's from the guys who did, Her Story. And so I checked out Telling Lies, and within about 30 seconds, I was like, oh, this is not good for a controller player. Like, you have to have a keyboard to play this. Would you say this is also in the same boat?
It's the opposite, actually, and I would probably say Telling Lies. This game is more close to Telling Lies than it is to Her Story. Yeah. But the whole thing revolves around this mechanic of rewinding, watching the video and rewinding it and fast forwarding it. And the controls for that are extremely bad, especially on keyboard. Less so on controller, but double the badness, because for me, extremely buggy. So there are times where I'm like rewinding and the audio would completely drop out. So I have to pause it and then play it again. And then sometimes when I did that, like the audio would come back, but then the controller could keep vibrating furiously until I paused it and then played it again. And oh no, the audio dropped out. Pause it, play it again. Oh fuck, it's rumbling now. Pause it, play it again. Okay, now we're good. And I'm like, this is fucking annoying. And then on top of that, I'm like fucking pixel hunting, looking for something that I can try to zoom in on and try to get a new video, but it keeps feeding me the same shit. So I just got frustrated, like doing that for like 2 hours and not getting anything, getting maybe one new video that doesn't really add anything to my knowledge of what the fuck is happening in the game too. So eventually I just looked it up. I just looked up like, okay, what's happening? Like, what is someone put pieces together for me? And then like, it's not, I don't want to spoil anything, but like, it wasn't satisfying. And it's not that it wasn't satisfying, but it was like, how the fuck are you, like, I feel like you're jumping to conclusions, whatever. Like, I went on Reddit and some guy like gave his like synopsis on what he thought was happening. And I'm like, there's no way you got that out of this. But I saw credits roll and I was like, this, I'm not satisfied. Am I supposed to stop now? Or am I like, didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. So
that's a huge bummer because you're like super excited for it when it like.
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
The work they put into. There's like 3 movies, and the movies themselves, I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna watch this movie. I'm just gonna like, this is a movie I could just sit here and watch. Like they put so much work.
The clip you showed me after the show was like, holy shit! Like I downloaded the game because of that.
Yeah, like some of those movies are incredible, and I came to find out that the actress they got to play Marissa Marcel, it's her first, like, it's like one of her very first roles, like, ever. Like, she's not done much of anything before this game, so to be able to portray 3 different characters in 3 different movies from like 3 different eras of time is like crazy, because she does amazing in her acting in the game, and then acting as a character she's like double acting almost. It's like a very weird thing to be doing, but she like does it very well. It's very impressive. Just, you can tell the people involved in this are they know what they're doing when it comes to making movies and writing stories for movies. But I feel like none of that, it doesn't translate into like the overarching story that is contained within the game. It just doesn't really translate for me. And then on top of that, it's just way buggier than it feels like it should be. It was very frustrating. So like, I saw those credits and I was just like wrestling with myself, like, do I want to go back and just like try to find out exactly what's happening? Do I want to get more information out of this, or do I want to wrestle with this buggy ass game, or do I just want to stop? I just stopped. I was like, nah. So
have you done any patching or anything on it?
I kept looking for patches and did not see any. I'm playing the Game Pass version.
Yeah.
So I should say that as well. Maybe it is on Steam. Maybe that version's a little different, but Game Pass version was just busted at times. So
yeah.
Yeah, and like it plays at like a weird frame rate, and I pulled up my I have like a frame counting app so I can like make sure that shit's running at a proper frame rate. It showed me it was running at 60, but if I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is like running at. I thought it was just a feature of the game. I thought like, oh, they're trying to mimic the frame rate of what these movies would have been if you watched it, but there's no way. It just didn't seem, because they do have more modern movies. The latest movie they have is like from like 2000. So I'm like, at this point, they would have had something that looked more stable in terms of a frame rate. But my thing was saying 60, but it did not. It was not running 60. So I don't know what was up with that. Yeah, I don't know. It's a great experience for Game Pass, but I wouldn't. I would not pay. It's like $30.
It's also a bummer that it
otherwise.
kind of fizzles out there at the end too. Like,
It fizzles out. There's people. That's the thing. Everyone's on the internet saying, "Dude, this game changed my life." I'm
That's
dedicated,
training, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was like one of the comments was like, "This is one of the greatest experience I've ever had in my life," and I was like, "That's the kind of comment I want to see about a video game." And I played it, and I'm like, "Nah, this ain't it. This ain't it." It has a very good initial opening. Like the initial introduction to that game is very, very high. Keeps you wanting more, but then as you keep going, it does, it fizzles out at the end. So it was a bit of a bummer.
Sucks.
But I don't want to dissuade anyone from playing it themselves and seeing what it does have to offer, because it is a very high quality experience. But when you start like digging a little deeper into it, it's like, okay.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's on Game Pass. So anyone that's listening, like, try it out on Game Pass. You don't really have. You're not losing any money out of it by trying it,
Yeah,
and then just infer your own opinion from there.
yeah.
Anything else you're playing you want to talk about, or is your whole week just
It was just
Immortality?
that. I'm moving on to. Humble sent me a code for Temtem, so I'm gonna
Oh, cool.
transition
That game's
into
like
that.
really popular right now.
It's a Pokemon MMO style thing, so I would assume it would be popular. It's on Switch too, so that's where it would. I feel like it would kill on Switch. But
Be cool. Let me know what you think of it, because I want to try that one for a while too.
yeah, yeah.
I haven't really been playing a lot. I played 2 games this week. Still played Dragon Quest 11. I am like dedicated to beat that. I want to get the new Xenoblade, but I told myself I'm not gonna buy another JRPG until I finish Dragon Quest. And
Good.
yeah, like I've said before, like it's a good game. Like it's a really, really good old school style JRPG with some nice little twists to it and story that I really like. Don't want to spoil anything, just go play it. It's on Game Pass, so give it a shot. But one game I did want to talk about is we're gonna talk about this later in the show, but Cyberpunk got some new updates
Yeah.
due to the
40 gigs.
yeah due to the anime series coming out, Edge Runners. They got some new updates to kind of in honor of that. Some of it's Edge Runners content, some stuff to tie it into the anime, and others just general bug fixes, quality of life improvements. And I thought, okay, this would be a cool time to get back into it. They added a couple cool things. They tweaked some of the weapons and how they worked. They finally added a transmog system, which like I'm a little pissed off it took this long for it to show up, because a game like Cyberpunk demands so much of you in terms of like style and representing yourself that doesn't have a transmog system. It was insane that it wasn't there before.
Explain what
And they added it.
explain what a transmog system is for people
Oh,
who
so
don't know.
yeah, a transmog is when you could like change the way your equipment looks to look like another piece of equipment without affecting your stats. So if you get like pieces of armor or pieces of equipment that you got for the stats, but they don't really look good together or they make your character look goofy, you can transmog it to look like something else, so you can still have that style and that flair without affecting your stats.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something that should have been there from the beginning, honestly. I'm a little pissed off it took this long. The game's been out for like what, like 2 years now?
Which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's insane that wasn't a thing from the beginning. Again, especially since like Cyberpunk is a very stylish game. A big part of the game is, who are you in this world and representing yourself and presenting yourself. And the fact that it took this long for them to actually let you choose what clothes you want to wear without affecting your stats is like bonkers to me. But the game is still really fun. Like, I know a lot of people are shitting on the gameplay from the beginning. They made a lot of tweaks for it to make it feel a lot better. Some stuff that was insane to have to be on the skill tree like aren't there anymore. They're just there by default. I remember when I first started, if you grab somebody, let you choose to kill them or to just knock them out. But when you did that, you would have to kill them or knock them out, and then when their body dropped, pick the body up to take it somewhere to hide it, like in a crate or something. And if you wanted to have the ability to just do it all in one go, like grab somebody, drag them to a crate, kill them, and drop them in it, it was like another perk you had to like invest points into. Now it's just there by default.
That's
so you have
great.
to invest points into that. Yeah. So little things like that have been adjusted to kind of make the game a little bit better to deal with. And I still stand by the fact the story for this game is really, really good. I love the story. Yeah, I didn't hear it wrong, dude. I love the story. I love the world. I love the depth to the characters. That ending, the game has like 6 different endings. There's 3 main endings and then 2 choices you can make for each ending that drastically changes like how the game plays out. I'm not going to spoil for you. And if you take the time to like really invest in the characters, they come back towards those endings. I liked it a lot. And this is something like I'm a gameplay first guy for sure. And the gameplay on this game it's okay. It's nothing like special really to write home about. But the story is something I really liked. Now, with that being said, after I beat it, for curiosity's sake, I did retry it with a different build to see like how much the game changes. When I first played through it, I was running mainly combat focused. I used mantis blades as my main weapon and pistols for stuff I couldn't reach with my mantis blades. I took out my cyber deck upgrade that lets me like hack stuff remotely, and I swapped that out with like a bullet time system. So I invested a lot into combat. So I went the other direction with this new playthrough. I invested mostly in sneaking and hacking, and I'm impressed with how different the game is and how it lets me play that way. I can play these 2 different gameplay styles. I played the second playthrough about 3-4 hours already, and I'm impressed with how much it was able to let me play that way. In missions I beat before, I remember like running through and cutting everything on. Now I need to be methodical, hack into cameras, hack into bad guys, distract them so I can take them out. I was impressed with how well it facilitated that. I was told it wasn't the case when the game first launched. It very much wanted you to play more aggressively, and they kind of had to add more stuff into it to kind of let you play how you wanted later. And I could say now I'm playing a mainly stealth build with indirect combat, and it's working pretty well. So if you maybe played Cyberpunk originally, couldn't get into it, or you wanted to wait till some of the stuff got patched out and fixed, now might be a good time to invest into it, because a lot of those issues are gone. Not to say all of them are gone. There's still some annoying, weird things that happen in this game that I'm like, this is embarrassing to still be there. But a lot of those rough edges have been ironed out a lot. And I'm liking what I'm playing so far. I might actually play the second playthrough to the end now because of how much fun I'm having with it. Okay. Also, the anime looks fucking cool. Like, I didn't know how we are going to sneak that in there, but the anime looks really, really fucking cool.
Yeah, that's a Studio Trigger is doing that.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks fucking good.
Yeah, it looks really good. That trailer really impressive. We're going to talk about that a little bit more later. But, yeah, it was really, really cool. But fuck, let's talk about it now. I like the trailer a lot. The weird Ode to Joy remix they did for the trailer was really cool. It's a very, like, not safe for work, hard R trailer, though. So, be careful where you watch it. There's tits and vagina in this trailer, dude. Like,
it's cartoon tits. It's not real, so.
But there is a squirting vagina in that trailer, so.
There is.
So, yeah. Be careful where you watch it. But it looks cool. If you know Studio Trigger's work, they did Kill la Kill and God, what else?
Gurren Lagann, did they do that?
Yeah, Gurren Lagann. And they did a couple. They did a couple episodes of the Star Wars anime. So they have a very distinct style, very hyperactive, very movement focused style that I like a lot. And it nails it for Cyberpunk. Like it's really, really cool. And again, I haven't played any of the story stuff that they added to the game to kind of tie it into this, but from
They
what I'm
actually
watching,
had like missions and stuff.
yeah, there are some missions that tie it to the anime. They promise they're gonna add some more to it later.
I watched that trailer, and it didn't seem like from the trailer, it didn't seem like they were adding anything. It was with the trailer, it was like a glorified music video for the anime.
Yeah, but when they at the same time they showed the trailer off, because Cyberpunk had like a whole CD Projekt Red had like a whole presentation.
Okay.
Like a 20-30 minute presentation, like talking about like the Edge Runner update they added to Cyberpunk. You can get the main character in the anime trailer you just saw. You can get his jacket in the game.
That's all I saw. Was like the little clothing things, but yeah, I didn't know they added like missions and stuff into it.
Yeah, they added a couple side missions to kind of tie it to the anime. And the devs came out and said, no, this anime is canon to the game. They're standalone stories. So you don't have to play the game to enjoy the anime and vice versa. But there are details in there for people who have played the game. If they go and watch the anime, they'll get some references there. So,
cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
I got the patch the other day. I've had it installed since I went through it. I didn't know that they added like missions. I might go jump back into it.
Yeah, I haven't played any of them yet. Because I was like right at the end of the game and I stopped playing it. It wasn't the game's fault. I just had other games I was playing and it kind of fell on the back burner. So when they added this new update, I was like, okay, I'll go back into it. I hadn't played the game for months. So as a testament to the game, like usually if it's a JRPG and I'm that far into it, if it's any RPG, I'm that far into it, I have to start the game over because I don't remember what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
But with this game, I don't know if it's just the story is much better told, in my opinion, than other games I've played, or because it's so, like, in my opinion, very unique and recognizable. I remember where I left off when I picked it up. Gameplay, I had to relearn how to play the game for sure. But story-wise, no, I knew what I was doing. I remembered characters, key points. I remembered the next step was in the narrative. And I was able to pick it up with very, very little, like, demanded of me to like kind of remember what was going on. So, take that with a grain of salt. Like when I talk about how much I like the story, I was able to remember it and get back into it after months of not playing it. So, I say check it out. Like if you've played it before and you weren't impressed with it, or if you were waiting for a chance to try it, now with this new patch, great time to get into it. And they do have a new DLC expansion coming out we're going to talk about later. But yeah, I had a fun time with it. And I'm probably going to be playing this game a little bit more. And I'll have a lot more to say about it next week with my second build. Or on the subject of this ball rolling, what about you, Klay? Is there anything you want to talk about? Anything that interests you? Any games you were playing?
I will say for one, Cyberpunk gameplay was solid. Could not agree more. Like I loved it. I thought it was great. Similar to Ghost of Tsushima, Dishonored, whatever. Play it however you want. It was great. Story, disappointment. Wasn't a big fan. I did beat the game, but I just say I didn't care.
I love the story. I love the story.
Could not get into it.
I would say I hated the gameplay.
Yeah.
And it was lukewarm on story. So
yeah, I implore you to try it again. Like now with these new quality of life changes, try it again.
I did reinstall it. I also reinstalled it after that announcement update came out.
Yeah.
But I didn't play it.
Yeah, and there's some cool stuff in there that I really liked. And even some of the side missions, there are side missions that are gonna like stick with me forever because just what it asks of you and the implications of it. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's some side missions I can talk about for like hours because of like the effect it had on me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was really into this game. And
that's cool.
Yeah, they can bring the anime out. The anime can hit like a lot of those same points in a more passive medium. I'm down, dude. Let's do it.
Yeah. I dig it. But yeah, so I'll be checking that out because like I said, I didn't know there was like a side mission in there, so that's cool. I'll definitely play that.
Yeah.
I will say.
Oh, and the game has a new game plus now. I guess that was the thing that didn't have before. So.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So if you want to game over with like your character, carry over your equipment stuff, there's an option to do that now.
Well, yeah, I just need to watch that announcement that they made because I missed out on like everything because I just heard about the Edge Runner stuff and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I don't know if you guys have been playing the Cowabunga collection.
I haven't. I've heard good things about it though.
It is quite good.
Yeah. That's really good. I want to pick it up because like there's a lot of turtle games there that I haven't played, so I want to give it a shot.
Some of them are just atrocious, and some of them are fantastic.
I don't care what anyone says. I think any of those NES games like did not age well.
Oh, dude. Yeah, TMNT 1 on the NES is still insanely hard. You just gotta fight through it. There's a save state system. There's a rewind system. Make it happen.
Make it a bit more bearable then.
Yeah. So yeah, that works. And I'm still going through Saints Row.
Oh, you're still playing it?
Yeah, I will say it's not that bad, man. I think people just expect the perfect game to be released, and so if there's bugs or anything, they go, "No, this is useless. 0 out of 10." And you go like, "Well, I mean, okay. Have you never played a Saints Row game before? Because they're all like this."
Yeah.
I haven't played a Saints Row game in a while, so
yeah,
I'll probably pick that one up like once a lot of the bugs and stuff get patched out.
Yeah, it definitely needs patches. I'll say that, but nothing's game breaking. It's it's like GTA style bugs. You just see people like walking through a wall every now and then, and you go, "Oh, okay."
I'll definitely check it out once like a lot of the patches come out and the game's more solid. I don't know if it'll have the same like user base once that happens, but oh well.
No, probably not.
We'll see whenever those patches and stuff come out, I'll probably pick it up. Because I'm a huge Saints Row fan. I fucking love the Saints Row games. So I was going to buy that game regardless, but I'm going to wait till some of the patches come out for it.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, we had the Disney showcase the other day, and this is something I want to go over with. So Disney had a whole expo the other day showing off a bunch of new movies, which we're not going to talk about. We're talking about some of the games that they announced. They had a pretty good announcement for games. Like I was impressed with how much stuff they were talking about.
They talked about a lot of stuff, but the stuff they talked about was not. A lot of it was like fucking mobile garbage.
Yeah, a lot of it was mobile garbage. They opened up the show with Tron Identity, which is a mystery adventure game set in the Tron universe.
It's a visual novel.
Some beef with. Yeah, which I have some beef with.
Go on.
Because the big gimmick with the first Tron movie was like, oh, this is like a world inside your computer. Explained a lot of computer stuff as like as programs living in it. But then, for some reason, Tron went on this trend of like humanizing them. Like one thing I didn't like about the sequel is that now it's like a city, and these programs that were just operating a computer now like go to nightclubs and like form gangs. Like, what the fuck is that about? Like,
I like this guy's this guy's at a club and he's like, "Oh, hold on, man, I gotta go. My owner needs me to decompress some files real quick."
Basically, like that's what the whole first movie was. This is like this world inside your computer. Like it's more. There's more to it than that. I'm sure there's like some Tron fans that are like, "Well, actually, okay, no, but that was the big gimmick of that first movie." And then when the second movie came out, and it's like, suddenly like there's a nightclub and Daft Punk are the DJs, and there's this whole like underground like crime thing going on in this computer city. I was like, what is going on here? Like, what is a computer program you go to a nightclub for? But whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like I've never seen. I don't know shit about Tron. I've never seen it. I've never had any interaction with Tron outside of
They're
like
very
Kingdom
different.
Hearts.
if you watch the first one and then watch the second one, they're like totally different. It's such a weird thing to do. Like
what I imagine from what you're describing is like Mega Man Battle Network, where you're jacking into a thing, and then there's this whole world inside the computer network that exists in its own thing, and then in there are clubs and like there's like a whole like network world going on inside the network. But then once you jack out, you're back in the real world. Is what I imagine.
it's very similar to that. It's very similar to that. But with the first one, it kind of doubled down on the fact that they were computer programs. So they're very like, I don't want to say emotionless, but very robotic almost. Like they're programs. The movie didn't confuse you on that. They were computer programs. And with the sequel, it turned up like the humanity to them even more so. So now like, they have their own like wants and desires.
Well,
they go to nightclubs and stuff.
Is it bad or is it just different?
It's very different. It's very. If you watch the first one, then watch this one, it's like, okay, that's a weird tonal shift. Yeah. I don't want to say it's bad, but it's really weird. It's a really weird shift.
It's been a while since I've like read up on all this stuff, and I'm about to actually real quick, but it's like, so if you there was like, and this is like lore stuff. There was a comic before that takes place before the movie, before Tron Legacy.
Okay.
And it's like, and it basically focuses on how like the old computer system from the first one is gone, and so Flynn basically created a new one, and within that's where the ISOs came from, and they're not just computer programs; they're like these like AI that live inside of that new system. Okay. So that's why everything is so different in that one compared to the first one.
Okay, that explains it then. So that's why there's like. They're basically like people in a society now. Like they're not like they're not the guy in the first one whose name is Ram, which is hilarious. Yeah. The first one came out in like early
84 or something like that. Yeah.
So it was 84. Like before computers were a household thing.
Yeah.
So that's why it's such a weird thing, because it takes a very fantasy sci-fi approach to like how people interpreted computers back in the 80s, but it is grounded in some sense of like computer engineering. And this, like, again, like they are programs. Like they refer to themselves as programs in the movie.
Yeah.
And they refer to like humans as users. Like they are programs that serve a purpose in this computer, and that's what the gimmick was. So that's why I was so confused in Legacy. I saw the trailers for it, and I was like, okay, like there's a city with like highways, and they're in a nightclub. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
But now that makes sense. They rebuilt it, and they gave these things like actual agency and intelligence. Like, it makes sense that they're gonna reflect human behavior more.
Yeah, basically, like Tron, I believe, is the same dude from the first one. And then, because like Flynn brought him into it, and then he recreated Clue, who became like the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and also Tron Evolution, if you play that game, is awesome.
Is it really?
It is. It's great.
I heard it was good. It's like it's a little hidden gem. It's like a God of War clone, what I heard.
Yeah, it's very God of War feeling because of the combat system, where like your dude he throws like a light disc around, and it think of like the Blades of Chaos without the actual chain attached to it, where you throw something and it comes right back.
Yeah.
So it's like that. Like his little disc, it's just constantly zipping in and out.
Yeah. Know? So that's what Tron Identity is. It's not like that. It is a point-and-click adventure game. So now I kind of understand a little bit more now than like where this like mystery novel, like straight up borderline like noir thriller is like coming from. So yeah, I mean, it could be cool. I'm not a big fan of visual novels, but we'll see what happens with this. And a more interesting looking game, we got the Illusion Island from Delilah Studios, was announced to come into Switch on 2023. It's a 2D platformer which I think with the name Illusion Island is a reference to the Castle of Illusion Mickey Mouse Sega games, right?
Possibly. I hope so, because those games are awesome, and this one looks super fun.
Yeah, it does. It's going based on the new Mickey Mouse shorts, like their art style. Which, if you haven't seen them, they're fucking hilarious. Oh my god!
I figured this was based on something, but I haven't seen those.
Yeah, there's these new Mickey Mouse like series. They started out as like shorts with no dialogue, like older Mickey Mouse cartoons. They turn into like their own thing. They're really, really fucking funny. Like, I was surprised at how much fun I was having with these. They're on Disney Plus, so if you have Disney Plus, go check them out. But they're really, really funny. They can bring that sense of humor into this game, which the gameplay looks solid. Like, the anime looks really good, or the animation looks really good. I like the 2D hand-drawn look they're going with this. Like, this looks like fun. This probably stands out the most to me, at least, with some of their announcements here.
Yeah.
That's not to come out till like next year, though, so we got a ways away before that drops.
This whole presentation was kind of funny to me because the whole time he's like, they have a guy, Blessing is like on there like presenting the shit, and every time they cut back to him, he's like, man, that looked awesome, I can't wait for every time, and I'm like, it wasn't that it's not that exciting, man. But then the one time they showed, dude. Yeah, no, I get it, but it'd be funnier to me if he was like, yeah, I don't know about that one, Chief, but we'll see, or something like that. Like,
he wouldn't have a job if that was the case.
Yeah.
Like, clearly it was a paid dude, you know, who's there to be like, oh, that looks super dope, awesome, whack.
Yeah, I can't wait to get Iron Man in there and really show him what for, you know. Just like, I just want a little bit more
like
honesty.
Transparency.
Yeah.
Never gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if you all ever listened to the the Nintendo Power podcast, which is Nintendo's like official podcast. Have you all ever heard that?
I've seen it.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, so Nintendo, PlayStation, and Microsoft all have their own like official podcasts, and the Nintendo one, it is super like family friendly. It's really funny, but it's also super brand name. So like they always say like Nintendo Switch, you know, like I can't wait to play that game on Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo Switch family home consoles.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like it's so clean and Disney-esque at the same time, because like everything is just super wholesome and like just makes you want to die. But yeah, it's like that's what I would imagine a Disney, you know, press conference would be like.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the whole conference. I just I waited for some of the game stuff to come out and I watched those. Because they announced a lot of stuff. Yeah, they announced like movies, TV shows.
They showed stuff that, well, this one specifically is just the game stuff.
Yeah. Well, they had two shows. They had so the entire expo was like, you know, the D20 expo, I think is what they call it, D23.
D23.
Yeah. And so they had like a bunch of movies and stuff coming down the pipeline, some shows that are coming down the pipeline. They had another one that was like just their games, which I'm surprised like how much they announced. A lot of it's like mobile garbage.
Yeah.
Well, even then, like,
I saw a lot of people hating on it just because of all the mobile titles that they announced.
Yeah, but they started up with like non-mobile. The first half of it was like non-mobile games.
My problem is I hate when they show a game that's a mobile game, but the way they present it, it'll be like a minute-long trailer, and like 57 seconds of it will be this extreme fucking high presentation, like awesome looking thing, and it'll zoom out and it's a fucking mobile strategy game. You're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I know.
You guys have cell phones, right?
Oh, absolutely.
We got some cool stuff out of this. Like, Marvel Midnight Suns is a game that like
it looks good. And
at first, it looks good. Yeah, at first I was kind of whatever about it. I was like, oh, like turn-based strategy game with card mechanics, I'll pass. And then I saw more of it. And I'm like, okay, this looks pretty cool. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff happening here. And all of the cinematics they've shown off have been fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
Like really, really cool.
And it's Firaxis, so it's the it's the XCOM guy who's making this. So
Yeah. So we're gonna get a quality product here, I think, with Midnight Suns.
yeah, get that
Yeah, I'll
Doctor Strange
probably end
game
up
out.
picking this one up or playing it. Yeah. They also show off a sneak peek to some of their prequel shorts that looks like really, really cool. Like I can't wait to see those. Yeah, there's some cool stuff to strike for with Midnight Suns. I mean, the more I see of it, the more excited I get with when it comes to Midnight Suns. I like everything about it, but the gameplay itself is like I'm kind of iffy on. But I liked XCOM, and if FireX is working on it, I might like this one too. So
Yeah,
we'll see. They got the animation for that short. Can we talk about that really quick? It's so cool.
it looks good.
If Saturday morning cartoons kept being a thing, this is what they would look like now.
They had these two. I'm not a huge Marvel guy, so I don't know if these are real people. But who the fuck is Nico and Magic?
I couldn't tell you who Nico is, but Magic is like a character.
Okay.
I've never heard of either of these people.
Yeah, I
Magic's
saw
like
him come up.
super pure. She's in God. So Marvel had a movie. God, what the fuck was it? The New Mutants that came out like 2020. And Magic made her first like on-screen appearance in that movie. But nobody watched it because it was fucking terrible. So whatever. But her thing is that she is a mutant. Her powers let her like open doors to dimensions. But that was boring. So she also like learned magic with like Doctor Strange or something.
Yeah, anyone can open the door.
Yeah, so she also like learned magic. She could summon like a magic sword. All of that spells. Her only mutant power, I think, is like making those portals. Everything else she just got from magic. But she is a member of the Midnight Suns. She's worked with them a couple times, so it makes sense that she's here. Nico, I don't know anything about Nico. I'll be honest. I know people like look at me as a Marvel guy, but I have a very passing knowledge of Marvel. Believe it or not,
I thought they invented a character for this game specifically, but I don't know.
Did they?
I thought they did make a character just for the game, which is now a canon character. I think they have their own like comic series now, but they created them just for the game. So there's someone in there who you're not going to know, but I just don't know which one that is. But that's what I heard. That's a word on the street. So don't
word on the street.
Yeah.
From the trailer we saw there, does it let you like make your own character? Because I think I saw that.
I don't think you make your own. I think one of the characters is just a new hero. But
Okay, so there's that clip where like they're coming out of like a coffin or something, and they kept like changing. I thought it was supposed to like reference like a created character.
Yeah, I'm not sure. This is not my area of expertise.
Yeah, it's about 30 seconds in. It's like your Marvel adventure, and like there's this character's like face and like body keep changing.
Yeah, that's about right. Like like a make your own.
Oh, maybe you do make.
But I haven't heard anything about it. Like if you make your own character, they haven't shown off a character creator.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Midnight
Suns. It looks okay. It looks all right.
Oh, okay. So yeah, there is a customization option here. There's like a thing in like June of like someone making a character. Oh fuck! How come I didn't know about that? That's really cool. Okay.
You're not on the street like
Guess not.
Wasabi over here.
Yeah.
Word on Main Street, USA. There you go.
Yeah.
South Main Street. You got to look at Southside. Marvel Strike Force. We got some new looks at it with they're adding in some of the Hulk fan. We got Hulk, Red Hulk. She-Hulk is coming
Red Hulk.
too.
Is his name Red Hulk?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Hulk, the thing that they don't explore in like
the Blue Hulk, are they rivals?
So the thing they don't explore in the movies is that Hulk, Bruce Banner has like multiple personalities, and there's different Hulks that come out. in the comics. And there's like one that's like red, who's just like he has less control over, he's even angrier, and there's one who's like gray that has all of his intelligence still. There's different Hulks that are like fighting for his like for domination in his brain. And they don't explore that like at all in the movies. They just, you know, because it's kind of a dumb subplot. I'm sorry, Marvel fans, but it's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
And there's been like comic book bullshit that actually brought them out, so you had to fight them, but I'm not gonna get into that. So yeah, it's not like too weird that it's there. I've never played Marvel Strike Force. Is it like another like gotcha game, right? Like it's like this weird like autoplay RPG with gotcha mechanics.
I don't know.
Sounds like it.
This trailer looks cool. Look at the cinematics.
Yeah,
here.
but watch the gameplay though. Like
that's
saying
like
a second and a half of actual gameplay.
that's like what's that? Star Wars Galaxies of Heroes. That's just
yeah, it's a lot like Galaxies of Heroes.
yeah, it's just a turn-based RPG that has gotcha mechanics.
Yeah, which like yeah, that's what you're into. Fine, it's not my cup of tea though.
I tried Galaxy of Heroes just because I love Star Wars, and I was like, wow, this is terrible.
I was gonna try until I saw what it was, and I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
I'll skip it. I love Star Wars, but not that much.
Yeah.
And then we got a Marvel Snap, which is a Marvel like card game.
No, it's Marvel
collectible card game.
Snap. It's Marvel Snap.
Is that how they say it in the
It
trailer?
is. It is. Oh wait, let me play it real quick. It's Marvel Snap.
Who doesn't have a bagel's worth of time? So don't wait to explore a multiverse of possibilities. Oh, snap. Marvel Snap.
Oh.
It's time to
Oh
make
my
your move.
god,
Marvel
that's so dumb.
Snap.
Wow, that hurts.
Snap. It's time to make your move. The game launches.
Snap.
Yeah. So.
No, it reminds me. Have you ever played like Wind Waker when you're doing that like battleship mini game? When you miss it, he's like sploosh. Yeah.
Sploosh.
Sploosh. Oh man, but yeah, I got a new trailer. It's dropping October 18th. So I guess like I'm not a fan of collectible card games, so if that's your cup of tea, I mean, here you go. If you like card games, you like Marvel, there you go. There's a game you can sink your teeth into once that drops in October. The artwork on the cards are cool. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I like that artwork a lot, but I'm kind of whatever with it. We got a look at Alien Dark Descent, which I forgot, like, Disney bought Fox Studios, so
Yeah.
you know, Aliens is now a Disney franchise.
This game
Clearly.
actually looks okay, I think. This looks like it could be fun. They don't show much of it.
Shoutouts to Aliens Fireteam Elite.
I heard that was okay too.
It's actually not a bad game. It's just nobody's playing it, so it's hard to get like a good co-op game going.
So
Yeah.
what is this Dark Descent game? Is it
It looks like a
This looks like a-
tactical, strategic, like defense, maybe like a
yeah, I
tower
was gonna say it
defense.
looks like a tower
almost.
defense, yeah.
But you know, without
That'd be
towers.
cool.
It's a tower defense game because it's 2002 again.
You'd be surprised. Those games, the people, I don't know. There's a pretty big audience for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's some people out there who want like a good tower defense game.
Yeah, I just think the Aliens it's good. It's a good mix for Aliens. I think
I think so
it's
too.
not a first-person shooter.
Yeah, Aliens has a lot of potential. You can make a ton of games with Aliens, so
Yeah.
I'm cool with it. Next look, we got to look at Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. I say look, but it was like a cinematic, like
They
a 2.5
just-
minute
They
cinematic.
probably just showed this just to say it's still happening. This is that Ubisoft game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's set to come out
Oh,
on main system, so PS5, Series X, PC, even Stadia and Luna.
God,
Yeah.
that just reminded me. Ubisoft Forward is in like 3 hours, right?
Oh yeah, that Assassin's Creed thing.
Ubisoft Connect or Forward or what the hell they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally forgot about
Wait
that.
to see that. They'll probably show off more of Avatar on that, hopefully. So I don't know what the fuck this game's gonna be. It just sounded like a quick trailer. Um, but yeah, I have no opinion on this. Like the cinematics are cool, I guess, but I don't have an opinion on it. Then we got Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. It's getting new characters, including Andor. I guess that's supposed to be at a promotional time with the new the new Star Wars Andor series coming out. I think it's supposed to come out
It's in like 2
later
weeks.
this year. Is it in 2 weeks? Okay.
Yeah. It's the 21st, I think. 21st, 23rd, something like
So
that.
there we go. Supposed to be a time with that then.
Yeah.
We're also getting a Galactic edition of Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga releasing later this holiday. 13 bonus characters, 6 of them being brand new.
Which pretty much confirms for me to not buy this game until that comes out.
Yeah.
So,
Which is crazy because Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker, it had a lot of content. Like it's
Yeah.
all 9 movies.
yeah.
I was telling people, so I get asked a lot because I'm a big Star Wars nerd, and people go like, "Yeah, like, are you going to pick that up on day one?" And I'm like, "I'm probably never going to play that game." Oh yeah, why not? And it's like nothing against the Lego games. I think they're awesome, but like, I don't have 400 hours to play one game.
Yeah, this game's gonna take a lot of time. Like my God.
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's cool. I mean, that's dropping later this holiday, so I'll probably check that out because I do like the Lego Star Wars games.
Yeah.
Return to Monkey Island. Got a brand new look. What to expect? Items, characters you'll meet. That's at the drop September 18th.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, it looks cool. A lot of people are shitting on the art style, but I think it looks fine. Like,
Yeah.
Is this okay? You're the Monkey Island guy. This is I feel like you're a good person to ask. Are these the kind of adventure games that are frustrating to play without like a walkthrough? Is it?
So, well,
Mhm.
it's all up to your patience level, but the big difference between this game, okay, so back in the point and click, golden era of like, the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Like there was basically 2 flavors. There was Sierra, who makes like King's Quest and all that stuff. And those games are known for just being super hard and you die constantly trying to figure out how to do whatever. And so you're just constantly saving and loading all the time. And then LucasArts came out with like their flavor of those. And that's where like Monkey Island and Grim Fandango and, all those kind of games come in. Those are basically, you'll never die in these games. You're stuck until you figure it out. Like the game will not let you progress until you solve X, Y, and Z. So I think this is a much better, less stressful formula.
It's a better formula, but so Grim Fandango is a good example. Is I got frustrated right off the bat in that game. Episode 1, I was like, "This is what the fuck am I supposed to do?" And then I looked up a guide, and I'm like, "How are you supposed to figure this out?" Aside from just using everything on everything, which is that's part of the fun because they always have something new to say about using everything on everything, but.
Yeah,
I just want to progress the story. I'm like, this ain't.
I get it.
Yeah.
The Monkey Island games are always really fun and funny and good writing and all that stuff. So I'm excited for that. I love point and click adventure games, but like something that I like to compare, point and click adventures like this where you use everything on everything. It's like, have you ever played a Silent Hill game before? Because how are you supposed to know to use the fish hook on the piece of tape, which on this sewer grate, which gets you the cassette, and then you got to use the cassette over, and it's just like, what is happening right now?
Yeah, that's something that, like I have the same opinion on because like I grew up playing Resident Evil, which is basically a point-and-click adventure game with zombies in it. So I don't mind it too much, but there are some like Grim Fandango is a perfect example. They get so obscure. I'm like, how was I supposed to know how to do this?
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I love the story for Grim Fandango and I haven't finished it because I don't want to play the whole game with a walkthrough.
I did. I had to. I was like, this ain't. I love the story here and I want to experience it, but I don't want to spend 7 hours on one puzzle.
Right.
But yeah, this looks pretty cool though. I might check this out. If they do enough to it to like modernize it so it's not this annoying, frustrating experience, I might check it out.
That's
Check out and I don't know if it's still on Game Pass. It was a little while ago. It's called Thimbleweed Park.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard that was good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was another. So Ron Gilbert's the guy who makes these games, like the OG Monkey Islands and everything. And it's Thimbleweed Park was like a Kickstarter that because for people who are like, you should make another game. So he did a Kickstarter, and it came out, and it was on Game Pass. I went through it. It was great. It's just more turn-based, or not. I'm sorry, not turn-based, like point-and-click RPG or point-and-click adventure stuff. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I appreciate what Telltale did for these kinds of games, because they really just trimmed all the fat away and was like, okay, what's the core thing that people want or need out of these adventure games? Well, it's a story, and so they kind of streamlined everything to just get you the story parts of it. And I think that stuff, like, it's a benefit for more casual people who want to enjoy these types of games.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my thing. That's why I got into like the Telltale game so much, because it focused more on the story and less on the obscure puzzles.
Yeah.
So I have zero problem checking that out. And if this Monkey Island game does something similar, like I'll play it. I like me a good point-and-click adventure, but I don't have the time to like try everything on everything.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna get that in this game.
I thought Broken Age. Broken Age
is another one that.
It was
Broken Age was fantastic.
Yeah, it was a good medium.
The first part was fantastic.
Yeah.
That second half was.
The second half is when they threw it
ridiculous.
on. Yeah. But that I like that though, because the first half, it's like it gets your toes wet a little. It doesn't ask anything too crazy. But then like that second half is like, okay, here it is, motherfuckers. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I remember playing it, and I thought maybe I'm just bad at these, but I played Broken Age, and I was like, okay, this game is cool. I can't wait for the second half. And then I played the second half, and I'm like, this is hard. I am dumb. I feel like a dumb person.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the normal like consensus, is that, hey, this is kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
So whatever. And another news that I don't think anyone was expecting, a Gargoyles remastered game got announced to release later this year. They didn't really show off too much of it.
Yeah.
Other than it's happening. Word on the street is that it's a remaster of the Sega Genesis Gargoyles game.
Oh god,
Yeah.
I think I played that.
I say word on the street, but like they straight up said it like in the fucking announcement. Which I never played it, but I saw some gameplay after this got announced. Like I actually went and looked at like some Let's Plays of it. And I'm impressed with how good it looks. Like the animation's very, very clean. The gameplay looks really solid. So if they remaster this, I don't know how they're gonna do it. They're gonna do this like.
Is there a thing they showed a tiny thing right here that says Classic Games Collection, Jungle Book, Aladdin, Lion King? Is that a thing that's out?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that came out like a couple years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got all three of those games in it.
It was,
and it comes with some extra stuff too. Like it has promotional artwork and concept art you can unlock.
There was the
mind and pause mechanics too.
There was the like Disney Afternoon collection.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then they released that one after it.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that the duck game.
Oh, like Darkwing Duck or DuckTales?
DuckTales. I remember that DuckTales came out, and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's a dope."
DuckTales on the NES is like just one of the best NES games there is.
Yeah.
I never played the original. I played the
remaster
that WayForward did.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That was really good. I love that. Yeah. So is this Gargoyles Remastered gonna be the same idea as that collection? It's just the same game, just on modern systems, or are they gonna completely like redo it?
It looks like that same game from the. Oh, this is original gameplay footage. So they haven't really said or shown anything really about it. So who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? We'll see when that comes out. I like Gargoyles, so I'll probably be checking this out.
It says remastered though, so
yeah, that's why I think it's going to be like its own standalone thing with some extra enhancements, but we'll see.
Not a remake.
Yeah, it's a remastered, but you know, who knows what.
They can call it whatever they want.
DuckTales Remastered was the same name, but they completely redid all the sprite work. So whatever.
Yeah.
They redid the entire game. It was like DuckTales Remastered, which I loved. I thought it was great, but they rebuilt it. It wasn't just an upscale. Like all the levels were redone. They had different paths. Like they added in an extra level to the game, and like
Remix the music. They brought the voice cast in to like voice the game. Like they did a lot of work on that.
yeah.
We also got an announcement for Mirrorverse, which has been a thing for a while, Mirrorverse, but I guess this is a trailer for their villains.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this? It's another like
Mobile
gotcha game turn-based RPG on mobile.
Which you don't know
But
until...
the gimmick... Yeah, but the gimmick to this is that like these are like alternative reality like Disney characters that are like... And they're crazy. They're like fantasy archetypes. You have like spellcasters, like rangers, warriors. And they look pretty badass, I'm not gonna lie. Like some of the designs these characters got are pretty cool.
In the trailer,
McFarlane Toys. Yeah.
You see the game and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, the game's kind of whatever. But what's funny is that
got
the first time
excited when Hades came out. I actually got excited. I saw the blue fire and I was like, oh shit, Hades. I was like more excited than I should have been for...
I mean, Hercules is great.
Yeah,
so that's fine.
Yeah, this looks pretty cool, but I think I'm more into the concept than the actual gameplay.
Yeah.
And it's funny because my first exposure to Mirrorverse was actually I would see ads on like Twitter and Facebook for like figures of those characters in their Mirrorverse like outfits. So I saw like Sully from Monsters Inc. with like fucking robot armor and a techno hammer, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And I went down this rabbit hole. There's like this whole like thing of it. All of these characters got these like crazy redesigns to fit with this like RPG aesthetic. It's crazy. Like it's crazy the work they put into that. It's a shame it's not attached to a better game. We also got to look at Disney Speedstorm. It's a karting game by Gameloft. It's gonna have here.
This game looks awesome. Just gonna put that out there. This looks fucking incredible.
It's Gameloft though. Is this gonna be another mobile game or?
No,
it's
Isn't
that their whole thing?
This is on consoles and PC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's free to play. So it's gonna have some microtransaction bullshit, of course, but I don't know, man. I don't know. The gameplay looks, I mean, when they actually show the gameplay, looks pretty fucking badass. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, it does look badass. Like, I saw some gameplay of it. It looked cool. Like,
and then, like,
I'm a sucker for a good kart racer, dude. And this looks like it's going to be a good kart racer.
Yeah. And then, the one time where I was like, oh, yeah, they're going to zoom out back on Blessing. And he's going to be like, wow, that looks fucking incredible. And he was like, he didn't say anything. He was just moving on. I was like, moving on? Yeah, talk about how awesome this looks. You did a fucking mobile game. This looks way better than that. I got a little upset that he didn't pop off when they showed this.
Yeah, this looks cool. Like, this looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I signed up for the beta test.
Oh, dope.
So
I'll sign up for it too then. I doubt I'll get into it, but I'll sign up for it.
They probably get in. They'll let anyone into these things.
We also got a look at Disney Dreamlight Valley. It's getting a Toy Story Adventure DLC releasing later this fall. Disney Dreamlight Valley is like Disney Animal Crossing. I think it's not a controversial thing to say. That's what it is.
I heard about that,
yeah, it's coming to Game Pass, so you can check it out there.
It just launched on Game Pass like this week.
This game is in early access. You can buy it for like $30 and get early access. Or you can play it on Game Pass. So
so go check that out.
I heard it was good. People are enjoying this game legitimately. So
yeah, that's what I heard too. And it's on Game Pass, so it's like whatever. It's not going to cost me anything.
Yeah.
But I can talk quickly this trailer. The way fucking Woody is like moving around, it cracks my shit up, dude. Like the faces he makes, the way he moves around. You ever see those like memes of like people posing like that Woody figure with like anime figures and like really like weird situations?
Yeah.
Like I'm getting the same vibe with the way his face looks when he was talking to her. Like it looks so goofy and weird. Like I love it.
Yeah.
But no, this looks interesting. Like I've heard good things about it too. So it's on Game Pass. So it's like whatever, dude. Just try it. And then something that nobody was expecting, we're getting another Avatar game, Avatar Reckoning, a mobile MMO RPG shooter.
Yeah.
Oh God, just sounds horrible.
The third-person shooter. Yeah.
It's an MMO with like, they showed off weapon customization, clans you'll be meeting. There's no release date yet, but all these things combined, MMO, mobile shooter,
Well,
based on
okay.
Avatar.
They
like,
said the words MMO, but then they go on to say it's a single player game. So there are
so I don't know what's going on
multiplayer.
then.
There's multiplayer parts to it. I guess you can go like you can do competitive like PvE, PvP shit. But then there's also you can like team up with a squad of people to do like missions together. But I don't know why they said MMO because it doesn't really seem like that's the word to describe
Why
this.
is Avatar a thing? Like
That movie.
the first Avatar movie came out like what, 10 years ago?
Here's another one coming.
Yeah, but if there's any time to make it a franchise, it would have been 10 years ago when it was popular.
If you listen to like the plan for it, it's like not only is the new one coming out, but there's supposed to be like 6 more.
Yeah, the original movie was announced to be part of like an epic, and he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I want like 10 movies. I got ideas for like books and comics." And we got like one movie that released in theaters twice, and that's it.
Yeah.
Which, like, if you like Avatar, cool, but I think there's better movies. Okay, controversial opinion. Avatar came out the same year District 9 did, around the same like 2-month time span. And I'm gonna say it, District 9 was a better movie. Everybody's talking about Avatar like, oh, it's like this reverse like alien invasion movie, or we're the aliens. District 9 did a similar story, way better than Avatar did, but nobody fucking talks about that, and I'm still salty about it like 10 years later.
Yeah. You're not wrong. And, you know,
No, I'm not. I'm right.
Boys in the
Fuck
Hood
Avatar.
came out. Boys in the Hood came out like 1990, and fucking it's a way better movie than Avatar, and like nobody's talking about it. So I feel you.
Nobody's talking
Come
about
on.
Boys in the Hood 20
Yeah.
years later.
Yeah.
I will argue that like Avatar is like an okay movie. Like everybody was talking about how great it was. I saw it on DVD at home on my shitty like 32-inch cathode ray TV.
Yeah.
And when I had to judge the movie based solely on like its storytelling merits, it falls apart. Like that movie's not good if you don't watch it like in a theater.
You telling me you never
If
seen
you're not there to get the 3D
Pocahontas?
experience. So I'll be honest, I think people give it a bad rep comparing it. Oh, it's the same movie as Pocahontas. Like if you boil it down, like Gone with the Wind is the same movie as Pocahontas if you really want to boil it down. But what I don't like about Avatar is that I feel like everybody praised it like it was this like amazing, a new amazing feat of filmmaking. They put it on the same level as like Titanic, and I'm like, which even then wasn't even that good a movie if we're being honest here.
Yeah.
But again, Avatar is only good if you watch it like in theaters. Like take away the crazy 3D effects, take away the surround sound, the big screen, judge it purely on its own like storytelling merits, and it falls apart.
It's like you know what else is better in the theater? Snakes on a Plane.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I actually didn't hate that movie, even watching it at home. So I can see
Well,
that.
Snakes on a Plane knew what it was. Like I saw it at home too, and it knew what it was. It was a silly movie. I had fun with. That's the kind of movie you could watch and have like fun with if you don't take it seriously. but
Yeah.
Avatar wanted to be this like groundbreaking feat. And the big thing it had going for it was like, oh, look how great this 3D is, look how great the CGI is, which can we really say the CGI in that movie held up today? Like,
That's
really?
what all anyone cares about. That's why these Marvel movies are so popular. Because no one actually gives a fuck about the story. I'm talking shit. I'm talking out of my ass because I haven't even seen any of those movies. All I know is they're big action movies where shit blows up and people love them. So, uh, but maybe they're actually good movies. I don't know. I watched that Doctor Strange movie, and I thought it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I actually didn't even finish it.
Newest one?
No, the first one.
Oh,
Same
yeah,
thing
the
with
first one sucked.
same thing with like the what was that, Captain America. I watched the second Captain America in the theaters, and I was like, I'm gonna leave. I don't even want to finish this.
It's funny because everyone says second one's like the best one, but I've never
I
seen it.
hated it. I was like, why is this guy like driving this plane into the ground? Or said it was a plane scene, and I was like, this is terrible, terrible. Batman the Bane one, I didn't finish it. I was like, this is trash.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
That was all
So-
right.
So yeah, I don't know. I feel like
No,
anyone
point is-
does care about the explosions. They just want eye candy.
Anyway, Avatar Reckoning. Yeah, to me, it's a C movie that's somehow getting turned into like a franchise, so it's whatever. If you want to play it, go ahead. I'm not gonna stop you, but I question your taste in movies. We also got an untitled game by Skydance New Media. They haven't announced a title for it yet, but it is going to be a new game featuring Black Panther and Captain America set in World War II, which could be
Yes.
cool. Which could be
Yeah.
cool. I
Could
know it's
be.
never going to happen. My dream game would be if they just went hard R with it, like Wolfenstein, and just had me just fucking up Nazis as Captain America and Black Panther. That'd be choice, dude.
Have you all seen what they've been doing with Wolfenstein on PC lately?
No, what have they been doing?
Microsoft basically released, so they're all on Game Pass for PC now,
Yeah.
and Enemy Territory has dedicated servers again.
Oh yeah, I did hear about
Oh.
that. I heard about that, and I wanted to reinstall that game.
Yeah,
Oh, I
I
need
was
to check
like,
that out. now.
oh
That
god,
looks
like
cool.
that's like one of the best multiplayer shooters of all time. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
if you're a PC person, you need to get on that.
I've not talked to anyone who's also enjoyed that game. So
Yeah.
for me. Those were like the good old days of shooters. That was like the last one.
I'll have to check that out then. But yeah, this game looks cool.
Do you know who
Like, it showed
are
off a cinematic. This looks cool. Like I don't have anything else to say. It looks
who are these people here? Do you know, aside from Black Panther and Captain?
If I had to guess, it looks like just random soldiers, like a random like World War II soldier and a random Wakanda soldier. But if I had to guess, the guy on the left is probably someone from Captain America's original team, maybe Bucky or Dum Dum Dugan.
Dum Dum Dugan.
Yeah, that's his name.
Okay, he's born with that name.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
It was probably really popular back in like the 40s. Who knows?
yeah. Oh yeah, it was a different time.
So his name is like Tim or something, or Tom. I think his nickname is like Dum Dum.
Okay.
I don't know why they call him that. The reason I know about him is from the Marvel. What were those like Marvel RPGs, like the Diablo clones that came out like forever ago?
Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah, Ultimate Alliance. He's a character in Ultimate Alliance, and he's part of like one of Captain America's like original teams.
You can use him in Ultimate Alliance.
No, he's like a character in it, so he's not a
okay.
playable character. He's an NPC.
Okay.
He gives you missions or something.
Yeah, he's on the Shield helicarrier in the first like mission. Point is, I can't really see it from here. I'm just like guessing, or it's probably just like a generic World War II soldier. But the game says like 4 heroes, so
Yeah.
I don't know. And looking at the profile, get a better look at it. Like I don't see like the mustache that Dum Dum has, so it might not be him. It might just be some random dude.
Yeah.
Or actually, like didn't like the new shit, the Falcon TV series like introduce some some
Captain
other
Falcon?
like not Captain Falcon.
I don't think
I
he's
almost said
natural
Captain
captain.
Falcon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost said it is just the Falcon, but the Falcon Winter Soldier show. Like, there's a whole subplot of like another super soldier after Captain America who was like black, but nobody talks about him because he's black and America hates black people.
Yeah.
I'm not even being controversial. It's like the whole plot is like, oh, I was like this hero in World War II who gave up everything for my country and took all these experiments, but nobody talks about me because I'm black. That might be
Wow.
him. That might be him in this one.
Finally
Or
getting
maybe
his-
I'm just reading too much into it. It might just be some just random World War II soldier. I don't know.
Yeah, if he was
But,
random, he wouldn't be one of the 4 heroes.
yeah, that's true. So I don't know.
What
So
about
we'll see when this comes out. I'm gonna
there's-
guess some Wakanda soldier. I was gonna say that like his bodyguard from the Black Panther movies, but if this is in World War II, this isn't gonna be like T'Challa. This is gonna be like his grandfather, his granddad. So I don't
yeah.
know who this would be, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Like it's a cool concept, honestly. Like
Yeah. Just wait until
Like,
he
this is a
zooms
cool
out with the
concept.
mobile game. You're like, yeah.
yeah, I know. Like that's the thing I'm worried about. Like, what is this gonna be? Is it gonna be like? It's gonna be a lot of things. It could just be like a strategy game, like Midnight Suns, or is it gonna be like a looter brawler, like
A looter
Avengers? Like Avengers, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh. Well, Avengers had more than 4 people.
It did, but it doesn't mean it was a good game. Or is it going to be
Sure,
like
yeah.
the Square Enix Guardians of the Galaxy game that everyone says is good? So I don't
You know
know.
what?
It-
I
it's
don't want
really,
to.
it's really good.
I don't want to talk shit about Avengers because it does
Why?
do a lot. It does a lot of stuff wrong, but it does a lot of stuff right too. Where it's
The
like,
story
I
stuff it
finished
does
that
pretty
game.
well.
Yeah.
The characters, it nails the characters, the acting, the motivations, everything else though.
Yeah.
All the live service stuff looks like dog shit. Like,
Yeah, that's the problem.
yeah. So like we'll see. Hopefully they learn their lesson from that. That's not what this is going to be, but we'll see. It's from Skydance Media. What is Skydance worked on?
They're like a movie production house.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Shit.
So
So, like, what do they have to do with this then?
By the way,
Visual
you should
novel.
be playing Guardians of the Galaxy. It's on Game Pass and it's amazing.
Yeah, I need to play that.
I need to play it too. They did The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners.
You didn't? Are you sure that's not Skybound or Sky?
Skydance Interactive was the
Okay.
developer.
Okay. That game's not bad. So
It's not good either.
yeah, that's the VR one though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not. I heard it was okay.
I mean, we'll see with this. We're speculating a lot on this. We have no idea what it's going to be. We're talking more about this game than like they've actually shown off. So
well, that's
we'll
what
move
people
on,
do. They
but-
they zoom in on the shit. It's like, okay, if you zoom in on this, you can see.
yeah, I
Falcon,
was seeing. Yeah, I was totally wrong. There's no way that soldier's Dum Dum Dugan. Like now that I see him like zoomed out, like that's not him.
Yeah.
He could be anybody. Like I don't know who that could be, but we'll see. I mean, I'm sure there's some Marvel fans that can listen to this, but well, actually, his outline perfectly matches so and so from issue number 321 of Captain America: Secret War.
Well, he's got. They zoomed in on like the scratches on his shield. Made a big deal about that. That's
I mean, it's a shield. He blocks bullets with it. Bullets make
well,
scratches.
yeah, but there's like no, not just scratches. It's like claw marks.
Maybe him and like, Black Panther went at it for a little bit.
Oh, they went at it. Okay.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, this is World War II, man. Like Captain America was like, "What a Negro on the battlefield."
Oh, true,
must
true.
be the
He's not
enemy.
used to that. Yeah.
Oh, he's
I think-
like in a fully covered suit, so he probably doesn't even know. Watch
Wasn't-
the whole game he goes through. He fights alongside him. At the end of the game, he's like, "What? You're a Negro?"
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be funny. I dare them. I dare Disney. Do it. No balls. Do it.
Like,
Do it.
"Oh, friend, we've been through these battles. Please remove your face covering so I may see the man who I've been fighting alongside all these years." And he's like, "Oh."
Oh, I guess you're one of the. Yeah, if Captain America doesn't say he's one of the good ones in this game, I'm going to be disappointed. I want to see a racist Captain America.
Wasn't like Ultimate's Captain America? Wasn't he just like a misogynist or something? Like, wasn't that his whole negative thing about him?
Probably like, I don't know if it was Ultimate Captain America, but comics went through a thing in the '90s of like trying to be really edgy and like gross. Controversial opinion, but Frank Miller is a lot to blame for that. He has this really weird like edgy storytelling style that people like gravitate to, and since like Watchmen came out, people saw like, oh, comics can have like sex, blood, and violence without understanding the nuance and deconstruction of the superhero genre that was in Watchmen. So this made everything like hyper violent and edgy for no reason. So I wouldn't be surprised if like there is actually like a story where Captain America like fucking murders like drug dealers. Like it came out during like, the war on drugs, and he like fucking murders them. Like he is killing these guys, and he gets like a boner doing it. Like it's insane. So that was probably a thing. I don't know.
Well, yeah, like the whole Ultimates universe, like everybody had like a kind of like a flaw kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where like, yeah, like I'm pretty sure Captain America was just like he just gave women like no respect or something.
Yeah,
He was just
I
like,
wouldn't be surprised that was a thing. Which is funny because like side tangent here, Stan Lee was actually very, very progressive. And they're so early issues of his comic books, Captain America, Spider-Man, the end of them would have what's called Stan's Soapbox, where we talk about current events. And there's an issue where he talks about the civil rights movement, which was happening in like the 60s when he was still doing comics. And he flat out said, this is like in the 60s when the comic book industry was still, Marvel was still pretty small. They had their popular comics, but they weren't the juggernaut they are now. And he flat out wrote, like, if you don't think people of color deserve the same respect as you because of the color of their skin, you can stop reading my comics. So it's funny to think, like, to make jokes about that, but Stan Lee was like a very progressive person, even for his time. But yeah, that was a little side note, a little side tangent. But they should make this Captain America racist because it's funny. Moving on. Some Game Pass announcements. Like we said, Disney Dreamlight Valley, like you said, Klay, that's coming out.
it's out.
So that's out, sorry, on Game Pass now. PC, cloud, and console. We got Opus Magnum coming out on PC. That's available now. Train Sim World 3 console and PC is available now. Ashes of the Singularity Escalation. I got the hiccups. Is on PC September 13th. DC League of Super Pets, The Adventures of Crypto and Ace. Longest fucking name in the world.
Yes.
Cloud console and PC September 13th. You Suck at Parking. That's not a game, I'm just saying that. No. You Suck at Parking is dropping September 14th, cloud console and PC. Despots Games coming out console and PC September 15th. And last but not least, we have Metal Hellsinger. That's the first-person shooter rhythm game, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of them.
Real quick.
Yeah.
The trailer for that came out last year. And am I the only person who remembers a game called Bullets Per Minute?
No, I remember that too. I thought they were related.
No, and I was like, they're like, oh, look at this game. And I'm like, isn't that already out? And I looked it up and it was like, no, it's Bullets Per Minute. And I was like, so they just ripped off that game?
The big difference, this one that separates it, is that Metal Hellsinger, I remember their big thing that they were announcing was like, oh, here's all the metal bands we commissioned to like do music for the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they actually have like bands that they license to do music. I think like, I don't quote me on it, I think Cradle of Filth is in it. Who else? Hold on. I'm not even gonna start. I know there are gonna be some metal fans out there like, oh, what? How dare you? Serge Tankin from like System of a Down, like doing music for it. I know for sure he's in it. I say he's in it, but I think he's just doing some music, which is cool. I fucking love Serge Tankin. He's a fucking genius songwriter.
Yeah.
Genius musician, genius songwriter. But yeah, that's the big thing. They brought like pretty big names like the metal industry and just general hard rock music industry to come in here and do some music for the game, which, I mean, if the soundtrack is really important to you, that might differentiate it from bullets per minute.
Right.
Also, like graphically, it looks a little bit more impressive than bullets per minute did, but
okay.
I need the mechanics to work though. It's not enough to just have.
It looks the same way bullets per minute did, though. Like you have the crosshair, you have the things coming on the side of it. So we'll see how it plays, but it looks like it's just taking the same idea. Yeah. But we'll see what happens with it. Like it's going to be on Game Pass, so I'll try it. Like it's not going to cost me anything but my time.
That's one of the things about like Necro Dancer came out and was like, holy shit, you can do rhythm anything. And now people are trying to do rhythm anything, and it's just not. It just doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with this one. And some quickie news: Eidos Montreal now owns the games it developed.
Yeah.
Really quick, remind me what are some of those games?
Deus Ex.
Tomb Raider.
Thief. Tomb Raider. Yeah, Tomb Raider. I think. Well, Crystal Dynamics also came out and they announced. I think Tomb Raider's under them.
Yeah. That's right. Eidos Montreal. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, but they did
Deus Ex.
Yeah, Deus Ex is something I'm excited for. I like the first Deus Ex.
Yeah.
Wait, the first or
the first like of the new series that they did.
The
first
human
HD series they did.
Humankind something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. I never finished it, but I liked it a lot. So
I have not played those.
They're pretty good. If you like this like play how you want like mentality, Deus Ex does that.
Yeah, Deus Ex.
So help me out here on that then, because this was so when that first, there were two kind of like reboot games, right? And so the first one that came out, like this is back in like the PS3 360 era, and it was like it had to have a PC only kind of director's cut because the problem people had with it, like apparently when they were making that game, they outsourced all the boss fights to like another company. And that company, when they developed it, they basically made it so you have to go guns blazing in order to beat these bosses.
So like, that they patched that out later with the director's cut.
Yeah, but that wasn't on console, right? Like that was only on PC, I think. Is it?
Released it on console, yeah, as like an extra expansion. When they released the expansion to it, which added some extra DLC, they included that director's cut with it.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
It tweaked the whole game around, so now like you already had the freedom to play the levels how you want, but it gave you even more freedom to do it with. So it made stealth more viable in the main campaign, and it gave you a stealth, non-lethal option to the boss fights too.
Okay, that's cool then, because I was like, I didn't know that was released on console because I don't play PC, right? But I was like, if they released that on console, I'd totally play that game.
Yeah, they released it on console. You can get it on console, so try it out. The sequel to it, Mankind Divided. The worst thing I heard about Mankind Divided, I never played, but the worst thing I heard about is that it's the same. People keep saying it's the same as the first one. So if you like the first one, you'll like the second. So try it out for sure. But it's cool though, because you haven't had a new Deus Ex game since Mankind Divided in like what, 2016, 2017?
Yeah.
So it'd be cool to see if they can make a new one, something that can kind of scratch that itch for like Cyberpunk games. So we'll see what happens with that.
Have you ever played the like OG versions?
No,
from like the 90s?
Everyone tells me they're good, but I haven't played them.
I've played about half of the first one, and the second one actually, I think it was like a PS2 game. And
yeah, I heard the first one was like a PC immersive sim. Yeah, and its sequel was like a third person shooter or something.
Yeah.
In a similar news, Crystal Dynamics took control of most of its beloved games. So Tomb Raider, Legacy of Kain, fuck, I haven't heard that name forever, Legacy of Kain. So
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. Now they're not under the Square Enix like thumb anymore. Maybe we can start seeing some new Legacy of Kain games, like a remaster or something.
Yeah, hopefully they do that. I think they're only announcing this because they have to, because they now own the metrics, like the data, basically,
Yeah.
all the personal data from that's gathered from playing people who play those games. They now own that data. They control that stuff, so they have to like let people know. They have to disclose that, I guess, and for their like privacy purposes and shit. So that's why they're announcing this, but they can make new games now with those properties, which is cool because also like IO Interactive was also able to part ways with Square and retain the rights to Hitman, and that did well for them. So,
by the way, I jumped into Hitman the other day. I played. So they released like for Hitman 3, they released a new island, which like includes its own like campaign mission.
Yeah.
And I was so I checked that out, and because it's on Game Pass, so you can just download and play it. It comes with it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Hitman's great.
I never played the original Hitman games. I played the new ones that they've released, the new trilogy. Yeah. I played the first one a bit, and it's good. It's really good.
It's good.
I haven't played a game that scratches that Phantom Pain itch. I haven't played anything like Phantom Pain, and these new Hitman games come the closest to it.
Yeah,
it doesn't quite get there, but it comes the closest to that Phantom Pain gameplay that I liked. So, yeah, they're good. They're really good.
Yeah, I think in a different way, Breath of the Wild kind of does that.
Breath of the Wild does it very similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
What I liked about Phantom Pain is that it lets you go about missions the way you want, but also there's room for like improvisation. If something goes wrong, I think Phantom Pain is the most rewarding if you play a mission out to the end when things go wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like one of my favorite moments I like to talk about with Phantom Pain, I'll make it quick. I had a mission to go in, get this guy, and get out was my whole mission. And I spent like a good 10 minutes, surveying the area, checking the angles. I planned my route to go through. I marked a bunch of enemies. I was like, cool, I'm going to make it quick. Get in, grab the dude, get out like a ghost. No one's going to see me. And so as I was doing it, I fucking get spotted by a car that's turning the corner. The dude in the car like saw me. And I was like, well, shit, my tranquilizer is not going to be able to take him out because he's in a car. So I pulled out my assault rifle and shot him down. I was a ways away from the base, so I had some time while enemies like ran to the car to see what happened. So in a panic, I like threw a bunch of C4 on the car and fucking booked it into the mission. So now these guys are like, they don't know where I am. They know I'm there, but they don't know where I am because I ran away from the scene of the crime. And as they're looking for me, I had already marked them before, so I knew like a good chunk of them were at that car. So I fucking blow the car up and make an even bigger explosion. So everyone in the base is running to the car to see what that explosion was. And I was still able to get in, get my target, and get out while the whole base was like looking for me. It was such a cool, organic experience that I've never experienced any game that can do that for me, except maybe Max Payne. And it was so cool. I haven't played any other game that does that.
The best way to play that game is to turn off all of the assists. Turn off the how you get caught and it goes that like the slow-mo thing. Turn that off. Turn off marking enemies. Turn everything off and play it like a fucking real Metal Gear game. And it's just it completely changes the way you approach situations.
It's really cool. I played through it a second playthrough with that, and it's really good. And the game is it's designed, it does I say it does the Breath of the Wild thing, but I should say Breath of the Wild does the Phantom Pain thing, where everything like kind of works together in its system. So, with Breath of the Wild, if it's raining, not only does it, it obscures enemies' vision so they can't see you. It obscures their hearing so they can't hear you sneaking up on them. But also it makes it harder to climb stuff. It makes your electric weapons unusable. Phantom Pain does a lot of that with like the environment and the way these mechanics play together. The stuff you could do with the cardboard box alone is like insane.
You can go surfing.
You could surf on it. You could like You could put a sticker on it, distract people. So if a guy catches you with it, they're like, "Ooh, look at that sexy lady." You can sneak out the back of the box
Yeah.
while they're too busy looking at the. It's so unique how
But
much
then
shit there is in
also
that game.
the enemies will react to your play style. If you like rely on shit a
Yeah.
lot, they'll be like, "Oh, this guy likes to get headshots. Well, we're gonna start wearing helmets." Or they like throwing smoke grenades. Well, we're gonna start wearing gas masks. Shit
They
like
come out at
that.
night. We're gonna start wearing night vision goggles.
Yeah, yeah,
And the best part, it doesn't ruin the game either because you're like, "Oh, I can't do that the rest of the game." No, like you can get a mission to find their supply chain where they're getting all this shit, and then blow up their supply chain, and then it's
Yeah.
not a problem for another couple missions. It's so fucking cool.
yeah.
Like, and I heard like Kojima had even more ideas, but Konami pulled the plug because it was going over budget. I'm so sad we're never gonna see like the Phantom Pain Kojima had in his head because it would have been a
Yeah.
fucking masterpiece, dude.
It's such a bummer that they'll never get
It
to
is a huge bummer.
iterate on that, because the best thing about Breath of the Wild is that they can learn from that first game and make a better one next
Yeah.
time around. But that it's a bummer they can't do that with Metal Gear. I mean, they could, but
They
let's be
could, but
honest.
Konami's not going to. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's such a bummer. And the Fox engine too was so good.
Oh yeah.
It
Oh, yeah.
was very graphically impressive scenes without
Yeah.
sacrificing performance. Like it was insane
Yeah,
how
people
well that
forget
game ran.
that game was on PS3 and 360.
Yeah, and it ran great on it. Like it's
Yeah.
insane. Oh my god. All right, enough sucking off Phantom Pain. As much as I love that game, like I'm like sad that we're never gonna see like Phantom Pain director's cut. You know, with like all
Yeah.
the stuff Kojima wanted, the vision he had for the game. Like you can tell the game is like hindered by the budget and Konami pulling the plug on it before it was done. You can tell like that's a stink that sits on the game that brings it from like an S tier game to like an A minus. It's so disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so disappointing. Anyway, back to quickies. The new Pokemon game has a Let's Go feature. Basically, you can send your Pokemon out to battle and stuff independent from you, and they can come back with like items, experience points. Cool idea. Don't know if it's enough to like really change up the formula, but it's a cool idea.
Yeah. Looking at some of the stuff they're like showing about this game, it does some parts of it are like, oh yeah, they're taking this from Arceus a little bit.
Yeah.
You kind of see a little bit of that, but I wish they went more into that a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see that on this one. I think the next game though, they're gonna
Yeah.
like because of how frequently they pump out these Pokemon games, they're working on them so far ahead of time. I think with the next Pokemon game, we'll start seeing that influence on it. So don't worry on it.
What I'm curious is like how long can you leave them out, and how far away can you walk?
Yeah,
before
that's
it,
another thing
like-
I'm interested in too.
But yeah, it's a cool little feature.
And some new trailers and videos. You got to look at Cyberpunk 2077's new expansion, Phantom Liberty. It's a new expansion that opens up missions in what's called the Combat Zone. It is a lawless, chaotic area of Night City that is under no real government rule. It's just total anarchy, craziness, and unfortunately, a very important military person has crashed into the Phantom Zone, and you are contracted to go in and bring them out, or the Combat Zone. You're contracted to go in and bring them out. Think of it like Escape from New York.
I was just gonna say, it sounds like Escape from New York to me.
It's very much Escape from New York, and I'm 110% okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the president of the United States or someone close to them. I can't remember, but it opens up with V taking like their oath to the government. Which, if you don't know anything about Cyberpunk, like the U.S. military is not even a superpower, really. The whole world's owned by like 3 organizations, and the military doesn't even have the resources to back it up, really. But this is really cool. I like this idea because a lot of people don't know this, but Johnny Silverhand was actually a service member. He was drafted in the military to fight in the war with Mexico, which there's a war with Mexico in the Cyberpunk lore. So, and it was his experience, like, yeah, and it was his experience in that war that like made him so like anti-authority. So, the fact that this expansion takes place before the end of the game, Johnny Silverhand's there. I want to see like what his dialogue is, what he thinks of you, like basically hoarding yourself out to the establishment that he hates the most would be really interesting.
There's so much just backstory with this series that I'm like, oh, this all sounds interesting, but when I play the game, I just could not. I couldn't get into it. But that's why I reinstalled it and not uninstalled it. But I need to get back into this and really just.
It's good, and a lot of the story, like I didn't know this like going in. Like I learned this stuff playing through the game. Like characters like drop lines about their history all the time.
Yeah.
And you can find like books and stuff about like Johnny Silverhand, and it's really cool to see like his like opinion on stuff. Even the Nomad group, the Aldecaldos, like you talk with them, most of them were like service members, and they've served in they were drafted into the military like forever ago, and they're all fucked up from it. Like it's crazy. It's a really interesting world, Cyberpunk. It's really, really cool. And like that's why I like it so much. I think like my like love of like the world itself, the lore, the mythos is kind of overshadowing my judgment a little bit on some of the other like details of the game that people have problems with, but I like it a lot. And I'm really excited to play this expansion when that comes out. It's set to come out what is it, like late 2023? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see when that drops.
They're saying this is the first and only DLC, so I'm hoping it's significant.
Yeah, me too. They did also announce that like there's no support going to the last gen version of Cyberpunk. So sorry if you're playing on a PS4 or Xbox One.
Yeah, shame on you.
You're not going to see Phantom Liberty. You're not going to see any new patches, new updates. So sorry. But honestly, controversial opinion here, Cyberpunk should have done that from the beginning, if I'm being honest.
True story.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if they hadn't wasted a lot of development time trying to have this run on older systems, we would have had a much better game at the end of the day. But, oh well.
They got their refund.
I can't wait. Yeah, they got their refund, so. And if you didn't get your refund, I mean, that's on you. You had the chance to do it.
Yeah.
But no, Phantom Liberty, I can't wait for this. We just got like a quick cinematic of it, but even then, like, I'm into it, dude. Like, bring it on. I can't wait to see what this is. Next trailer we got is Foxhole, the official 1.0 preview.
Yeah.
What is this game?
So you don't know what this is, and neither did I before I looked at this. It's a how do you explain it? It's an MMO military game, right?
Yeah.
Where imagine like PlanetSide. You know, PlanetSide is like, for what I imagine PlanetSide. I only played it a little bit, but it's like a whole. You get a whole country, and you get different factions warring for control over different areas of an entire huge land, right? So that's what this game is. It's a war that's consistent, persistent, whether you're there or not. A war is going on, and two different factions are fighting each other.
Is it a FPS or?
No, it's a top-down MMO. But the cool. Okay, here's why I put this in here. Is because it's fascinating what you can do with it. Because the combat isn't a main focus. I mean, it is if you want to be a combat guy, but you can also be the guy that just makes bullets. Everything in this game is made by the players, down to the bullets, the guns, you can set up trains to take things from the back to the front lines. You can everyone has to build the tanks. Everyone has to build the transportation. Everyone has to build everything. Everything has to be built by the players, and then things has to be built to carry stuff from the workstations to the actual front lines where the people are fighting.
About like the infrastructure for it too. The
yeah,
what's the term
infrastructure.
for it? What's the term for it? Well, when you're the logistics, you gotta worry the logistics.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because they were describing
really cool.
oh yeah, you can build train lines and you can build all this shit, and I'm like, what? What? How much time would it take to build a fucking train station and shit like this? And it would take a lot of time.
Funny
in
you
fact.
bring that up because so many war games focus on like the combat side of it, but
Yeah.
nobody really understands that. Like a lot of wars and stuff are won with logistics. Like
Yeah.
it's who can get stuff to the battlefield more efficiently is what determines like who wins the war. Like
Yeah. So
there's a story that like in World War II, the U.S. There are rumors the U.S. could like have the logistics in place to like bring a whole fucking cake from like the United States to Germany for someone's birthday without fucking it up. And like that's what like helped us win the war, is that we had these like insane logistics.
Because we
Yeah.
had cake, bro.
Well, it's not that; it's that we had the ability to get that cake there. No, we could. You can say all you want, like the bigger weapon, the better tactical advantage, but at the end of the day, like if you spend all this time like trying to take a territory, you don't have the ammo, the food, the supplies to back it up, and no way to get it to your troops. They're not going to win that push. So,
Max's Mayhem in the
It's-
chat. What's up?
what's up, Max? So it's cool to see a game kind of like focus on that. That like, hey, you need to get these supplies.
Yeah.
And you got to focus on the production, the logistics, the infrastructure, the transportation, all of that to like really progress here. I like that a lot. That's really cool.
It's hard to explain. There's a good channel, Moy Dog. He has a good video on his channel where he gets his whole like YouTube people, and he's like, oh, we're gonna set up a squad, and we're gonna have one mission to take this area of the map, and just really do a huge push, and just the story that he builds, because in the grand scheme of thing, they really make not a huge impact on the whole war, but what they do contribute is just a small piece that can change the whole outcome of the whole thing. And that's really what it's about. It's like these small pushes, these small contributions to where this one bullet can make a change down the road for someone who used that bullet to make a big change in the overall grand scheme of the war. And it's just
Love that. I'm
it's
into this, dude.
Yeah, it's a really
I'm into
cool
this.
concept. They've been building this. It's been in early access since like 2017. And this is the
Okay.
1.0 update. So I guess it's finally coming out of early access, and it's just super impressive. Like I had no idea this was a thing, but yeah, just looking at it, I was like, this is really cool. This is
I'm
really
into
cool.
it, dude. This looks cool as hell.
Yeah.
I'm into this. Okay, I want to check this out. I'm bookmarking this. This is my contribution. This next trailer. This is Stray Blade. This is a Souls-like action RPG that got announced a little while ago. But what's really interesting in this, there's two. I put two trailers up. The customization trailer is the first one I want to go over. So the level of customization here for your character, your weapon, your equipment. There's so much here that it's getting like that RPG player part of my brain. It's going. I want to see numbers go up. I want to see skill trees get filled out. But it's really cool when you see like the actual customization. Like you can build the weapon the way it looks, the color of the blade, the color of the hilt. I've heard rumors you can like customize the length of the sword too if you want.
You getting crystals to build your
Yeah. But what's cool is that like there's a point like about a minute, 13 seconds into the trailer where you see there's like a whole skill tree with different weapons. They're all like missed their question marks. You haven't unlocked them yet, but it looks like these weapons are going to have their own skill trees, different abilities, stuff you can unlock for them. So this isn't like Diablo with like randomly generated loot. These are like pre-designed, like pre-built weapons that with a purpose.
Is it per weapon or per weapon type? Like is every like long sword gonna have the same?
So it looks like it's per weapon because the longsword he's carrying is like the picture in the profile there.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
which is
Wow.
weird because like you can also customize the way the weapon looks. So, how does that work?
Let me go back to this tree. Look at this fucking skill tree. Oh, so
Yeah,
each
dude, there's so
weapon
much
is on
stuff.
here.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
But
But if
they
you look,
only
some
have
weapons
like
connect to each
one.
other.
They
Yeah, but
connect
if you
to
look
each.
at the very top of the tree, some stuff connects to each other.
Oh
What
yeah,
is
yeah.
that? It's like, what is that? Like, it looks. I'm already like, okay, this is. I'm interested. I like skill trees in
Yeah.
games, so
Apparently.
I'm interested. I'm interested. I am, man. I got a boner for skill trees. I'm not gonna deny it. But on top of that, the gameplay looks solid. Like the second trailer shows off the combat and some of the character customizations. You can actually customize the way you look, the color of your clothes, what you're wearing, and the combat looks incredible. It looks a little bit faster than Dark Souls with these really crazy finishers that I like to see. It reminds me a bit of like Kingdom of Amalur, the way the finishers, how detailed the finisher animations are.
Have you all played the Re-Reckoning version of that yet?
I have. It's the same game.
Okay. I liked the original, and I was gonna play the Re-Reckoning. I just haven't got around to it yet.
It's the same game, so
Yeah.
if you like the original, the Re-Reckoning does have a new expansion that doesn't come with the game. You have to buy it separately.
Okay.
So with like new skill trees and new character customization options. So that's something to look into if you liked it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this looks like a lot of fun. This is a game that just popped up on my social media feed. And I kind of went down a rabbit hole like looking into it. There is an option to sign up for the beta.
I don't want a Souls game, dude. It's kind of bumming me out.
I do when the combat is like this, like over the top and visceral. I'm okay with it. Like the combat's like flashy and crazy enough that it doesn't have like that really punishing like Souls formula.
Like,
the very defensive act react formula that Dark Souls has.
Those Dynasty Warriors games get a lot of flack for being like just, I don't know,
terrible,
boring, I guess. But like I like the idea of just being a guy just mowing down
I love it too.
innocent people. Not innocent people. Just mowing down like a bunch of, I like the power fantasy of just
yeah, me too. I like that idea. You come home from work and you're just like, I want to just make this battlefield my bitch for like an hour. Like, yeah, it's fun. And this game, it looks like it's doing the Dark Souls things. It's a bit more punishing than that, but it looks like the combat is very reaction heavy. Like I'm seeing these like random blocks that look like they can interrupt your normal attack. So looks like you can block kind of at will. And there's like rewards like perfect parries and stuff. That's got me a little excited. Intricacies like that, like I think are cool. So seeing this, like I think I'm gonna have fun with this. I signed up for the beta. I haven't gotten any word back yet, so I probably didn't get approved, but I'm into this enough that I signed up for the beta. So
tell them you're Rick though.
I did.
And then they're like, "Oh shit, you didn't say that."
I'm like, I'm Rick from Gameoverse.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Whoa, here, you know what? Sorry about that. Have some money."
Yeah.
Have some money. Sorry about that.
But yeah, we'll see what they say. Like, they did one of the questions they make you fill out a questionnaire to like apply for the beta. One of them is like, are you part of any like Discord community or any like gaming community that we should be aware of? So I put down the Gameoverse information.
Yeah.
I see if that'll give me an edge. I doubt it, but
you should be aware.
Yeah. But no, this is cool. Like I'm into this. Next game I was into is Evil West. It's a third person Old West fantasy horror style third person action game. I say third person action games. It's got like crazy melee combat, crazy shooting combat. It's from Flying Wild Hog, the Shadow Warrior.
Shadow Warrior. Yeah.
Yeah. And this looks cool. Like I don't really know what else to say about it. It looks pretty badass. Like it goes on for like 13 minutes. I don't know if you want to like watch this whole thing, but
it looks a lot like It looks a lot like Outriders.
A little bit. Now that you mentioned it, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And I liked Outriders, so
Yeah.
yeah, this looks like Outriders with a better story, and I'm okay with that. This is another game that kind of turns on that superhero fantasy a little bit. Reminds me of like Doom mixed with like Outriders, and I'm okay with that.
I don't even know what's happening here, to be honest. This looks crazy. I thought this was supposed to be West.
Yeah.
Why am I seeing the fucking Tesla coil?
It's this weird like fantasy. I think that the subgenre for it is Weird West. It's called the subgenre,
Okay.
and it's like old Western like aesthetics with like supernatural and steampunk. Like with the game Weird West, like like is a good example of it. But I guess that's like the term for the genre. Like how Cyberpunk, even though like that's a standalone franchise, like the term Cyberpunk is a term for like that style of like aesthetic. Like Weird
Yeah.
West is the style for this aesthetic here.
Is this a loot game?
Or like steampunk.
Well,
Yeah.
steampunk, although when you hear steampunk, it's like, you know, Victorian.
Yeah, but
This
I mean,
is
but,
like-
but that's that aesthetic of Victorian mixed with like, steam and pipes everywhere.
Yeah, Weird West is like a more
Monocles.
specific. Yeah, Weird West is more specific. Weird West is like Old West aesthetic with like supernatural stuff, maybe some like low tech sci-fi infused into it.
Yeah,
Like Weird West is like a weird thing that like I guess has been a thing for a while, but I've never really seen stuff with it. Which is cool because like I'm into that a little bit. Like, you know, this Dark Watch, you know, back on the PS2 was like another game.
oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so stuff like that is like really cool to me. And I really like this for that reason. I think it's a cool look. I think it's a cool like
Oh my
genre,
God,
like
this
subgenre
fucking looks good.
to like look at. Yeah, this looks dope, dude. This looks cool as hell. Like I'm into this. I can't wait till this comes out.
I like Flying Wild Hog also. They do good.
Yeah,
The
Flying Wild Hog is
tooltip
good
here.
shit.
Press L1 to block to electrocute the enemy. What? Yeah, this looks dope.
This looks dope as hell. Hey, there's so much cool shit here. That weird thing he did where he does like a fucking Shoryuken and he follows them up in the air and punches them back down to the ground. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
It's cool as hell.
That's how they fought in the Old West, bro.
Yeah, it's
This is some cool shit here, dude. I love this. Like,
Don't you remember when like John Wayne used to do that to people all the time in movies?
I remember that, yeah. And I remember he teleported behind some guy and was like, nothing personal, kid. And then like banished him to the Shadow Realm.
And he was like, "You want to dance?" And then Shadow Realm. There you go.
But no, this looks cool as hell. Like, I'm super, super into this.
is this a loot?
And
I want loot though. Now that I'm looking at this, I'm like, this needs to be like a Diablo.
Or why can't it just be like a Doom?
It can.
And just,
It
like, let me,
can
like,
be.
fuck shit up.
It's just I would, you know, me personally, I just want everything to be a Diablo.
We'll see when it comes out. Like, I think
want
it's gonna have a
Warriors
skill tree.
Diablo.
I think it's gonna have like a skill tree to it, so you can unlock like new abilities and stuff, and you can affect like how you play. There's not too much. I kind of kept myself away from a lot of the information because I kind of want to be surprised by the game, but also I'm like, I want to know more about it because this looks so cool. So we'll see when it comes out, man. But I'm into this. Like I've been following this game for a little while now, and it looks better and better every time I watch something on it.
Yeah, I'll get this in the
Moving
wish
on, we
list.
got, yeah, dude, do it. Moving on, so we're going down to the game releases now. We got September 13th, a couple days. We got Freedom Planet 2 dropping on PC. I forgot that was happening. Asanzo is dropping on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X. So you can go check that out when that releases. Little Orpheus is also dropping on PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, PS1, Xbox One, and Series X.
PS1.
Yeah, PS1. You can go back to
Dope.
99.
Coming back.
I can install it on my PlayStation Classic, right? Boom. Yes, I have one of those.
No, you can
That's
play it on
fine.
your PS5 though.
I can play it cloud streaming on my PS5.
Sure. SCP Secret Files is also coming out for PC. This is actually pretty cool because it's like I want to talk about this one really quick.
What if the Chinese
SCP
remade this game?
Well, what's cool is that it's almost like, how can I word it? Like a compilation. So like different SCPs are different stories and they're different games. Like I see games in here that are like first person point and click games, and like I saw some like third person driving mechanics, and there's one in here that's like an isometric game. So I think it's like a compilation of like different games relating to different SCPs. So that would be cool to see. It could be good or it could be terrible, but it's interesting at least.
Isn't SCP? Isn't that
A
isn't that,
creepypasta, yeah.
yeah? Okay.
So it's a creepypasta like series. So it's like an alternate universe idea that within our society there exists this organization called SCP. It stands for Secure, Contain, Protect, and they house and hold on to like unexplainable cryptids, artifacts, and it's a user uploaded thing.
Think of Control.
Yeah, exactly, Control.
Yeah.
But the gimmick with it is that it's a user submitted thing. You can go onto the SCP website. It's documented like a top secret organization, but users can actually upload their own SCP stories, and they're all categorized by number. And you can upload your own story, and users can decide whether it stays as part of the SCP canon or it's just like a side thing that you did for fun. It's actually pretty cool. Like, there's a lot of like role playing involved with it. The stories are written out like government documents, so it's not going to read like a traditional narrative. It's written like a government document with accounts from other people. It's being filed by personnel within the corporation, and there's even parts of it that are redacted to make the story like more interesting. It's really cool. Like I kind of like what it's done, and this seems to kind of be based on that, where every different SCP file, it looks like it's going to be a different game. So this is pretty cool. Like I like this idea here. SCP is something that's really cool that I wish like got more attention because there's a lot of like really cool stuff in it. So we'll see when that comes out, like what the reviews look like. I doubt it's gonna like really make any waves, but it's cool that it's happening. Next on releases, we got Sunday Gold releasing on PC. It's a point and click turn-based adventure game set in a grim dystopian future. Play as a ragtag trio of criminals to hunt down and expose the dark secrets of an evil mega corporation and the malevolent billionaire behind it.
Whoa, I like the art style here. This looks
Yeah,
cool.
I love the art style. That's what I want to talk about a little bit. I love the art style here. It's got this like this old like pulp magazine comic look to it, which I like a lot. And it kind of reminds me of 13 a little bit with the way like comic book stuff pops up on the screen, like, you know, like Blam, and
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Like, it's a cool aesthetic. I like it. It's dropping September 13th, so I'm going to add this to the wish list. I might end up checking this out. We also got Voice of Cards, The Beasts of Burden. This is an RPG where everything is shown through the medium of cards. So already I'm like not interested.
I'm out.
But it is coming from Yoko Taro, the Nier guy. So I'm interested
Oh.
again. Yeah, so I'm interested again.
Oh yeah, this is interesting. I had no idea. This is like a straight up Square Enix game.
Yeah.
They're doing some weird stuff lately, but I like it. They're mixing it up.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, it's cool. I'm not a big card fan, but Yoko Taro makes some crazy shit. So
Yeah, this
if
will
you
get
can
me into
bring
card
that same
games, I
level of,
guess.
yeah, if you can bring a same level of like subversion to this, fucking sign me up, dude. This looks cool.
Oh god damn it. When is this coming out? Tuesday?
September 13th. Yeah.
30 bucks. I'll check this out.
Yeah, dude. It looks cool.
Got De Nuvo.
Up next is 13. So here's some backstories. I don't think we talked about this.
13.
Yeah, 13. Yeah, 13. So 13 is a first-person shooter that came out like what, 2005, 2008,
Yeah.
and it got a remaster like last year, or a remake last year. And it was garbage. It was hot dog shit. Nobody liked it. It's getting a major update that's releasing on the 13th, the same date it's dropping for the Switch. That's supposed to like completely overhaul the game.
Okay.
I forgot to talk about this because like they announced it like weeks ago.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they called it, but they're re-releasing it as like a whole new game. They're completely overhauling it.
I've only played a little bit of the original, and I did not play the remaster or whatever they call it because of everybody just saying this is the worst thing ever. But I do remember seeing something about how when they said they were re-releasing it again and again and again, they basically said, we know, we're going to fix it, and they basically put in more man hours to fix it.
Yeah.
Which is commendable.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna drop as like a whole new update. Like,
yeah,
I can't find the trailer, but they showed off like, yeah, I can't find the trailer, but they showed off a whole trailer where they're like, hey, we're like redoing the game basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like rebuilding it again just to apologize to everyone.
It's sitting at overwhelmingly negative on Steam right now. What's the issue that people have with
there's
it?
a lot of graphical hiccups with the game. The game doesn't run really smooth on really any system. They took out a lot of the comic book aesthetic stuff, so like the cutscenes were told in like a comic book style. They took that out, and now it's just straight in-engine cutscenes that look like dog shit. Also the game's buggy as fuck. Apparently, like there's constant issues with the animation, with the hit scanning. The game was just completely broken at launch. People have said that the original game runs better than the remake did, and so they took that to heart and completely redid it. I can't find the trailer, but they released the trailer a little while back, where they're basically like, hey, this is like the 13 remake.
We're remaking the game. It's $6 right now on GOG. So maybe
the original or the remake?
No, the remake. So you can grab
That might be worth grabbing then. I found this. Hold on.
It's on Steam. They have it on Steam. Well, an announcement of the.
So here is a trailer on PS5 of like the game, the new version of the game. Apparently, the original remake, it's so annoying to have to say that, but when the remake first came out, it didn't even run at like 60 FPS. Like, that's like how bad it was.
Yeah, they're announcing 60 FPS as one of the bullet points. 30 FPS on Switch, though, so not entirely.
Yeah, so here's like kind of something to look at. Which people have said this is going to be like the game you remember, but with better graphics, more modernized gameplay. So it might be worth checking out here. But yeah, so that's why they're not porting that remake over to the Switch. They're like, this is a new version of the remake. It's dropping on every console as a free update on the 13th, and it's also releasing on the Switch with that update installed. So, go check it out. It might be worth picking up. I mean, you said $6 on GOG, so fuck it, just try it, I guess.
Yeah.
September 15th, we got Bear and Breakfast. The laid-back management adventure game where you run a bed and breakfast and you're a bear. That's cool. I like beds. I like sleeping. I'm a lazy fuck. I like breakfast. I think bears are cool. Yeah. So this game sounds like right up my alley. Now, jokes aside, like this is a cute little management game. So if that's your cup of tea, go check it out. This looks like fun. We also got Blind Fate. What is this? Ito no Yami.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is.
I played this game in one of the demo derbies. You're a blind samurai who also has a gun, I think. And you're blind, so one of the mechanics is you have like echolocation or something. So you can temporarily see the enemies, but you're basically working off of like sound. They don't really show that in these like trailers, but it goes dark, and then so you have to like use the sound that the enemies make, and then it'll kind of show them temporarily in the screen. and so you use that to kind of just
Yeah, I'm not
dodge.
seeing that at all from these trailers. I'm
They don't
watching the
show
second
that.
gameplay trailer,
Yeah.
and it's just like it looks like a 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Yeah, it's a little weird that they don't show that because it's one of the. Am I, or is that just something they changed? This game hadn't come out. It was a while ago when I played this. Now I'm thinking about it. Maybe they just completely changed that whole thing. That's why they call it Blind Fate. It's because you're fucking blind. So when I played it, like most of the game was like dark, and you couldn't see anything. And then you had to like use the sound of the enemies to kind of dodge around, and then I think there was a way you could see temporarily, but I don't know. Maybe
Look
they
into it then.
maybe they
September
changed a
15th. This
lot.
looks cool. I might like this.
It was interesting. It was interesting.
Yeah. We also got Despot's game coming out. It's a roguelike tactic battler. Looks cool. You know, not my cup of tea, but looks cool. That's dropping on everything you can play it on, so check it out. PC, Switch, PS4, Xbox One. We also got John Dungeons 3 releasing September 15th. Never played Dungeons before.
Dungeons 3. It's hard to follow up Dungeons 2, so I'm excited to see what they do with Dungeons 3.
They're like what could I word it? They're like tower defense games, right?
Oh, that's a bummer because when you say dungeons, I'm thinking
Dungeon
Diablo.
crawler, nah. No.
So I'm out.
It's like Dungeon Master.
An RTS. Yeah.
Or Dungeon Keeper.
Well, yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah. We also got I'm gonna fuck this name up. Fault-STP-Lightcraft. Lightcraved.
Okay.
It's
what do you think this game is? Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's a visual novel. Weird ass name like that. Anime aesthetics, visual novel. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a visual novel fan, so I'm not gonna pick it up. But if you are, go ahead, check it out.
Yeah.
September 15th, we have Metal Hellslinger coming out. We talked about that a little bit earlier in the show. That is going to be releasing day one on Game Pass, so check that out.
Day one Game Pass.
Yep. But this looks
let me
cool. I'm going to
scroll down
definitely
here
check it out.
See some of the names they have on this. Yeah. Surge, Trivium, Matt Heafy, Dark Tranquility, Lamb of God, Arch Enemy, Ginger. So, you know.
There's some names on here, dude. Like, they're bringing some pretty big name artists onto this. I mean, I've only heard of a couple of these bands, but I have friends who are like huge metal fans that probably know everyone here.
I'm hoping it's all. It would be dope if they like collaborated on some tracks too. Like if you had like Surge with like the Trivium guys. Are they just?
So I guess the tracks are, according to the description here, every track is created specifically for the game with vocals by Metal Icons. So I guess they're not writing the music; they're just doing the vocals.
Oh, that would be a bummer if they're just like. That's a bummer. I don't listen to these bands for the vocals for the most part, but
there's a disclaimer like underneath here: DMCA and copyright information. We fully own the songs as they are specifically written, produced, and performed for the game. For content creators, we've done everything from our side to make sure strikes won't happen.
okay.
So that's probably why they did it, because like.
Well, they could have made original music. Like they could have had
the artists were the ones writing it. The artists were the ones writing it. There's like a whole other like level of negotiation to like maintain the rights for it if the other artist wrote it, versus like you writing it and having them like do the vocal work.
Mm.
So I could see why that was probably a thing, but it looks cool. Like if you're a metal fan, I'm sure like a lot of these. Serj Tankian is a fucking amazing vocalist, so I kind of want to hear what tracks he's done. Yeah. He's the only name here that I'll actually recognize. Like I know the rest of these bands. I know who Arch Enemy is. I know who Lamb of God is. I know who Trivium is. But I couldn't tell you anything about their vocal work. But Serj Tankian though, like, fuck. Let me hear that.
I was just hoping that they I don't know, they like I want some like collaborate. I want to hear them together in a way because I know like was it Lamb of God? They like did a collaboration with like Feist or something. I was like, this is insane. Getting these people together and hearing what that would sound like. So I don't know. I like a good crossover, but
Yeah, same.
let's hear a little bit of this. Okay. No, I'm in.
I'm into it, dude. I'm into it. That sounds cool as hell.
Like, yeah, I need a couple seconds of that. Yeah, I'm in.
Like that little bit of it was like Serge Tankin as fuck. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. There's a demo on Steam right now, so you can check it out.
I'm like listening to the whole song now, and I'm into it. Well, it's a trailer that shows the song off.
Yeah.
I'm into this. I mean, you can play the demo if you want, but the game's dropping on like the 15th. It's going to be on Game Pass, so I'll just play it when it comes out.
Yeah.
Wasabi's favorite game, Outer Wilds, is dropping on current gen systems, PS5 and Xbox Series X.
Not just my favorite game; it's the greatest game ever made. So
I still have to go and beat it. I gotta get it back into it. I will find the time to like dedicate to it and play it. I promise. And last but probably least, SBK 22.
There's a soft spot in my heart for these games because this was the first. This is my introduction. Not this game specifically, but it was like one of these games, which it was like my introduction to Xbox Live. There was like a demo of it on Xbox Live, and I was like, yeah, this is like fun. But there's no. Is this gameplay or is this like video? Hard to tell. This is video. SBK. The kids call it SBK, but we know it as World SBK.
So one word on there.
Superbike. It's a bike motorcycle racing game. So they call them superbikes, I guess, is what SBK. People are into this, I guess.
I mean, this if this is your cup of tea, man. Like, well, good on you. I'm not gonna like shit on your taste.
Get your lean on.
That's not it's not for me.
Yeah.
Get your lean on. Is that what you said?
That's all I know about bike racing is you lean a lot. You get your knee on as close to the ground as possible.
Oh my god, that reminds me of a funny story, dude. So like, I had driven like motorcycles before, just not like professionally or anything or like on a track. Just my cousin had a motorcycle and we would just take it to like this. We just take it out and just drive it around the neighborhood and stuff. And I knew like you kind of have to lean into the turn a little bit when you go to turn on a two-wheel bike. Yeah. That's what I'd driven on. And again, nothing serious, just fucking around town and stuff. But I went camping with some cousins and they had a quad. And I'd never driven a quad before. So I asked him, do you just drive it like a normal bike? And it's like, yeah. Like I lean into the turn with it. And he's like, yeah, you still lean into the turn. And I was doing it. I felt myself about to flip over. And I'm like, I don't know if that's right, dude. And he's like, no, you just lean into it like you do with the bike. And I fucking flipped the bike over on top of myself. And when you're on a quad, let's say you turn left, you got to lean your body right away from the turn or else you'll flip the fucking thing over. And I didn't know that. And so I flipped it over on top of myself and fucked myself up like doing it.
Well, that's what you do with a bike too, though. Well, because that's the physics are you lean the bike over one way, but your body has to like counter the other way. So like the bike goes one way, you go the other way with your body, and that's what keeps the physics in balance.
I guess it depends on how fast you're going.
Yeah.
With a quad, when you're four-wheeling, speed is there's not hitting the same speeds you are on like a two-wheeled bike. So that's what happened to me. I fucking fucked myself up on this.
Yeah.
And it rolled on top of me. And everyone else was like, why would you listen to him? You have to lean away from it. That's how you do it. Like, well, he fucking said that. They're just like, well, he's wrong. Like, you shouldn't have listened to him. Oh, man. That is a memory unlocked right there. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the show, everybody. Thank you so much for coming here, saying hi to us. This one ran a bit longer than normal shows, even though we had like nothing to talk about.
Yeah,
It was still cool.
Check out the live stream. Check out the raw live stream if you're listening to this, the edited version, because we did like 45 minutes before the show. I don't remember what we were talking about, but it was a good
Video
chat.
games in general.
Yeah, it was a good chat.
Yeah.
Klay said that Bayonetta was wrong, so I had to he said Bayonetta was bad, so I had to like understand like what his brain damage was and make him say that.
Yeah.
Love it.
But yeah, everybody, thank you so much. Wasabi, Klay, tell me where they can find us, man.
Go to nerdjunkies.com to get more of Klay, which you want more Klay. Let's be honest, that's why you're here. But you can also go to Gameoverse.com and get more of this. You can go to Gameoverse.com/Twitch and /YouTube and /Discord / whatever. We probably got a link for it. /video games, because that's what we do here. We love them, and you do too, and that's why you listen. So we appreciate you. You a genius.
I mean, I don't play games. I'm just here for Rick.
Oh yeah. We're all here for Rick. So that's.
I got good ass opinions, man. What can I say?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to plug, Klay?
No. Just want to thank you guys for having me again. It's always a fun time. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
When does Nerd Junkies go live? I'll check you guys out.
We are on a break right now. Joel's doing some upgrades to videos and intros and outros and all that stuff. So he's just focusing on that right now.
Well, man, when you guys get back up, like, drop us a link in the Discord. I'll come listen.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, for sure. All right, everybody, be safe, be cool, get vaccinated if you can, and stay safe and be excellent to each other.
Be excellent to each other.